There we go. Welcome back to another episode of the Suburban Trap House. My name is Madden, and this is Calvin.
Boom.
And today we are doing a MCU bracket.
Yeah, we got a quick one. As we said in the last episode, we're gonna try to do more like fun things.
Yeah.
You know, because the beginning of the channel was just hour long
talking.
videos of us yapping about
Yapping.
nothing and something at the same time.
Yep.
So we got a bracket today.
We're actually doing something.
We're going through 10. How do I say this?
20.
How do I say this? We picked.
Yep. There
Make
you
a catchy YouTube thing.
There you go.
We picked 10 MCU projects and we're putting them head to head. And if you think we're wrong, you're wrong.
Exactly.
Because we're the smart ones here.
And we're the ones with the channel.
Okay.
So
Yeah. You see all the stuff behind us? You think we just went out and bought all this stuff? No.
it just spawned here because that's what we're meant to do.
Over the years, it spawned. We manifested this by reading, by not even reading, watching.
Yeah.
Just by watching. Okay. Let's get into this. We have a die.
Yep.
We put everything, matched them together. Now we have a die to see which ones we're going to do. We got phase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we got some honorable mentions.
Sort of.
Honorable mention matchups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. So basically, we each pick 10 movies, and we're putting them head to head to see which one's
Simple.
the best.
Yeah.
So to find out which one's going first,
We're gonna roll a D10.
yeah,
We're gonna roll a D10.
twice to figure out
Twice.
which two are going head to head. So first one is going to be Phase 3, because that's the.
Let's
Wait,
get
no.
it.
What's the third one in the order? Phase 6.
Fantastic Four versus Daredevil
Born
season
Again.
2, Born Again.
No, it's not. Season
Which-
2, that's like
which-
season 4.
Daredevil Born Again season 2 would
Oh,
be
Born
season.
Again season 2.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right, That's right.
Would be season 5.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna get technical like that. Daredevil Born Again season 2 versus Fantastic Four 2025.
Uh-huh.
First steps.
Yep.
I don't know why I said that.
2020 is that.
Okay. You have Fantastic Four. I have Daredevil.
Uh-huh.
So I'll let you start first because it's already out. Yours is already out.
That's kind of the reason I picked it, is because
Yeah,
it's already out.
I took a
So,
stretch. Mine's not out.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing, is like, because yours isn't out, we don't have all
Yeah.
the details of how it's gonna
Yeah.
actually turn out.
Yeah.
And based off of season 1
Mm-hmm.
and how season 1 turned out,
Uh-huh.
I don't have necessarily the highest hopes as far as the CGI and them masking it and blending it together.
So
And
season
doing it
1,
well.
not the best season of Daredevil. I'll give you that.
It might be the worst season.
It's
of
definitely
Daredevil.
the worst season of Daredevil, 100%. But it kept the intensity that Daredevil always had.
That's fair.
The main problem with season 1 of Daredevil Born Again is the CGI
Yeah.
and Muse. And not Muse as like he's a bad character, but the way they ended Muse's story.
Mm.
Outside of that, name one bad thing about Daredevil Born Again. Outside of those. And the reason CGI and Muse's story were bad is because they had a bunch of writing problems and they had to swap people and get other people in. So season 2, I know it sounds like I'm trying to defend season 1. I agree with everybody what's wrong with season 1, but season 2 has everybody on track, and it didn't go through all the writer switches and director switches and all that. So I think because of that and the things that were best about season 1, Daredevil Born Again season 1, are the people who created season 2. So I think we're about to get Daredevil. And then I showed you the trailer.
Yeah, the trailer looks good.
The trailer looks phenomenal. We're getting the black and red suit.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see Punisher, but we got Karen back.
Yeah.
So some shit's about to go down. Now, I told you when we were setting this up, I 100% agree that if we don't give this to Daredevil Born Again season 2, it's mainly because it's not out.
Yeah.
So I'm perfectly fine with
that's a
giving it to
major
Fantastic
factor.
Four. I'm perfectly fine with giving it to
Plus-
Fantastic Four.
Okay, I will say, for both, I don't even consider Fantastic Four as finished, personally,
No.
because I need to know what happens to
Yes.
get them
If
from
Fantastic
to
Four
616.
If Fantastic Four was a 3-hour movie, it would have been on my list
That's valid.
as the main. Fantastic Four I liked better than the Thunderbolts, but the Thunderbolts is higher on my list because Fantastic Four just feels too short.
Yeah.
For what we had, mainly that ending fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main part. But what are your thoughts on Fantastic Four versus season 2 of Daredevil Born Again?
I mean, I agree with you on a lot of what you said. It's just like, because Daredevil isn't out yet, and with Disney's 50-50 hit rate on TV shows on Disney Plus, or just anything coming out to Disney Plus, I don't necessarily trust that's going to actually turn out.
But you got to think about it. The last few things they've put out for Marvel, bangers. Banger. The last few things. Marvel Zombies, banger. People made it controversial, but it wasn't. Because it's basically the what if storyline, but zombies. Mm-hmm. Wonder Man, banger. Banger. Thunderbolts, banger. Fantastic Four, banger. Mm-hmm. Everybody's iffy about Doomsday right now, but so far it seems like a banger. So, and then again, that trailer is one of the best trailers I've seen from Marvel in a long time. And I'm not going to lie, I mainly like it because of the music. The music is what gives me the hope. Like, same thing with Superman. Mm-hmm. People heard that the original theme in Superman 2025 trailer, and they were like, I have hope again.
And we're back.
I saw that 2025 Superman trailer, and I had hope again, okay? The world had hope again. All right? That's what Daredevil Born Again Season 2 trailer, that's what it did to me. It gave me chills. I didn't get chills when I didn't watch the season 1 trailer, but I didn't get chills when I watched the season 1 trailer, okay? Wonder Man didn't get chills when that trailer came out, but the show? Okay, who are we giving it to? Or do you want to say more about Fantastic Four?
The thing with Fantastic Four is they just kind of did everything right.
It did.
Like,
it did. I think it did one thing wrong, and it didn't show. It did one thing wrong, and it made Reed Richards a little too calm. That was my main problem.
Interesting.
I think Reed Richards should be way more anxious than that, or at least more fritzy with his anxiety.
I see that. Yeah, my personal only complaint about the movie is that I feel like we didn't have enough time with the Johnny and the Thing.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like there were more side characters of the movie.
The Thing felt like the biggest side character.
Yeah.
Johnny felt like he was kind of just a love interest character.
/ side character.
Yeah.
Like.
So what do we want to give it to?
I don't know. I think Fantastic Four.
Okay. I'll give it to you. Only because it's out already.
Yeah.
Though. That's the only reason I'm giving it to you.
Just because I want to wait to see season 2 before I make a verdict on if it's actually better than Fantastic Four or not.
I'll give it to you. All right, what's our next one?
And then also we don't need to worry about the same thought process and debate coming up for future ones. So
I don't think there's anything else that's not out.
No. I mean, that's what I mean by getting Born Again season 2 out there.
Oh yeah.
We don't need to worry about this coming up again.
Else. It would have lost everything else in this. I'm not gonna lie. If it made it past this round, it wasn't gonna make it past anything else.
All right, next is 8. We'll say 8th one on there. 8th one we did.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Endgame and Infinity War.
Ooh.
This is the easiest one. Hands down. This is the easiest one. I have Infinity War. You have Endgame.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to say your piece before I say my piece?
I'll let you say your piece first.
Infinity War is 10 times better than Endgame. 10 times better. Endgame is a great conclusion.
Yeah.
But because of the fact that it's a great conclusion, it's nothing without Infinity War. It's just a Back to the Future movie.
That's fair, but I will also argue that Infinity War feels 10 times worse without Endgame.
Nope.
Like, the part of the reason why Infinity War feels so good when you're watching it, like, even when it first came out, is because you know they're going to finish it. Like, you know it's going to have a solid ending to it.
Yes, but no, because it didn't feel good when it first came out. That's not why people liked it. People liked it because of the way that it resolved everything, and it made us know things are coming back.
Yeah.
I think the main thing that with in-game, the main things that carry it are the portal scene, the relationship Tony Stark has with his father, and then, I'm not going to lie, the relationship Tony Stark has with his daughter. I think those carry.
And the relationship Tony Stark has with Peter.
Nope. No, I think that one scene, I love that scene.
Yeah.
It's overrated. People would make that scene, not you, but people make that scene sound like it goes on for like 30 minutes.
Damn.
And it's like a 2-minute max scene.
Are you talking about the one from Infinity War or the one from Endgame?
Endgame.
Okay.
Infinity War is the same thing. It's probably
Yeah.
it's probably a shorter amount
But
of time.
I'd argue Infinity War is almost more impactful in that aspect.
Infinity War, in that aspect, is way more impactful, which is why I understand why people hype it up so much.
Yeah.
I think it's mainly because of Tom Holland's acting in that moment.
And actually, I don't know if you know this, but did you know that it's the reason why that comes off so good is because of what he has to do to make himself cry?
Yeah, what is he? He has to think.
He has to repeat the same phrase over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So that's why he had to keep saying like, I don't feel good.
I feel like that was
Miss
improv,
Stark,
right?
Partially, yeah.
So I'm like that moment, and it also Infinity War you could have ended everything right there. People would have been mad.
Yeah.
But you could have ended everything right there. I feel like Endgame felt like you needed it. And that's why it got put out.
That's fair.
And that's why it got hyped up so much, is because people felt like you needed it.
Yeah.
To conclude what happened in Infinity War, because nobody was going to be okay with that.
Yeah. That's valid.
Nobody was going to be okay with that. But I think Infinity War is the best representation of Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the best representation of if Loki had more time on the screen.
Yeah.
It's the best representation of Loki going back and forth between a villain and just a mischievous character.
Yeah.
I think it's the best scenes with, outside of Winter Soldier, of course. I think it's the best scenes with Cap and Natasha being rebel spies.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
I don't love the CGI in Infinity War, but I also think the CGI, I think the overall atmosphere in game is very dark, so it gives that like a
yeah, I don't know. I feel like the CGI in Infinity War was pretty good though. Still.
It's very good. I'm mainly talking about Thanos' kids.
Oh, okay.
I love their CGI.
Thanos as a kid, you mean?
No, his kids. The I forget his name. Squidward and what's her face.
Those aren't his kids.
They claim to be his kids. They say
they're like his disciples.
They're his disciples, but they claim to be his kids.
But yeah, you're talking about Ebony Maw and
Ebony Maw.
All of them. Yeah.
Didn't love them. Camera's about to die. Okay.
That's what happened.
You guys might see a change really quick in camera quality and just overall vibe of the podcast. It's because the camera's about to die.
Yep.
We tried something new. Wasn't prepared for it. We just tried it. Okay, so who are we giving it to? In-game Infinity War.
Infinity War.
Okay. I gotta stop putting the cat back on this. Spelled that wrong for sure. Okay, what's our next one?
7.
7. Okay, we got Civil War and Far From Home. This is obvious. This is also obvious.
Yeah, I feel like it is.
Say it at the same time. 3, 2, 1.
Civil War.
Easy. No questions asked.
Yeah. Far From Home's a great movie, but Civil War is just better.
Civil War changed everything.
It did.
It changed everything.
One scene literally changed everything.
If we're being real,
arguably 2 scenes, but
if we're being real, one scene in Age of Ultron changed everything, but Civil War is the conclusion of that.
No, I mean, the scene where Spider-Man came out.
Yeah.
As someone who goes to Marvel movies and all that, like when you saw Spider-Man come out, that's what changed everything, because that was the first time that you saw Spider-Man in the MCU ever, yeah. And so that time it was like entire theaters cheered every time.
Completely. I agree with that.
Like that one scene, and then the Tony, Cap, and Bucky fight scene.
Far From Home is
those 2 scenes change everything in the MCU.
Far From Home is a fun movie.
Yeah.
But very...
And a great movie, I will say.
Yeah.
Like, I do love all three of the Tom Holland movies. I'd argue Far From Home is better than even Homecoming.
Definitely.
It literally goes No Way Home, Far From Home, Homecoming for me.
Yeah. I see a lot of people get mad about the fact that Far From Home is not in New York. I don't care.
I actually love it.
I love that aspect, and guess what? Somebody people might disagree with me here, but I think it's Andrew on the Escape Pod podcast says that Homecoming is probably one of the worst Spider-Man movies because he doesn't do anything Spider-Man like. And I agree with that. Most of that movie is him traveling.
Homecoming?
Yeah. Him traveling or
fair.
him trying to figure out how to be Spider-Man in the moment.
Yeah.
Instead of him being Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's because it's his, like, growing arc, basically.
Yeah. And I like it. It's not a bad
Yeah.
movie. It's not a bad movie.
Like,
but
for them wanting to show Spider-Man, or start off a Spider-Man series, but not have it be the same origin story that you get every time, like...
Homecoming feels like the
get
PS4
it.
game. Homecoming reminds me and makes me feel like I'm playing the game Spider-Man.
Aspects of it, but I feel like a big difference is, like, it would be almost Homecoming with No Way Home. Like, those two movies put together feel like the PS4 game.
Yeah. So
Or, sorry, Far From Home, not No Way Home. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, so we got Civil War. Okay, what's next?
Next up is... Erase the ones we've done. There it is.
Okie dokie.
Be right back. I'll erase the ones we've done.
Okay, we're back.
All right, we're back.
We're
Camera
back.
quality is not as worse as we thought it was going to be.
It's not as bad. You guys see the difference. Whatever. Okay, we left off at Civil War versus Far From Home.
So...
Now we are on... what now?
Is number 6 right there. Right on top on the right side.
Loki Season 1 versus WandaVision Season 1.
Okay.
I think this is going to be probably the hardest one. Maybe.
I don't think so, actually. I
Maybe.
really don't. Because I'll argue we both had the same one for this one.
We did.
So
We did.
It's... Unless you want to go and play devil's advocate.
I'll play devil's advocate, but only... No, I won't. I can't.
You can't. Like, you can't. Loki Season 1 is just superior.
The best part about WandaVision is Agatha and the themes they do in the beginning.
I'd also argue I really like how they show how Wanda created the Hex on, like, that entire scene.
Yeah.
How it was out of heartbreak and, like, basically her holding, like, Vision when, like, I like that.
I like that. It could have been a movie.
Could have been. Might have been better as a movie.
Probably.
However, I think it might have been a little rush at points. If it was a movie, it might have made it even worse. So
If WandaVision was Multiverse of Madness, I would have been happier.
that's fair.
You know? Like, if they mix the two. I need Marvel. I need Marvel to start making longer movies.
Valid.
Especially because you have too many characters who do too many things that make mental shit happen, that everything goes weird.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange cannot be the only one who has great visual effects.
Right.
He is a magician. He's a magic man. WandaVision warps reality. Wanda warps reality. The fact that her movie and her TV show had less going on in terms of weird shit. Because I watched Age of Ultron last night, right? They have her, like, glitching around, where it looks like she's moving really fast, but it's because you're seeing it from the mind of somebody else, right? So anytime she's, like, putting a hex on somebody, you see her, like, glitch in and glitch out. Never see that again throughout the entirety of the MCU with her. Never. Any other time, it's just we're seeing her do it.
Yeah.
Right? In Civil War, right? Everybody's saying she's like this monster. We never get a sign of that until WandaVision and Multiverse of Madness, right? In Multiverse of Madness, the only, like, crazy shit she actually does is kill the Illuminati.
True.
Like, we're sleeping on Wanda.
Great scene, though.
Great scene. And then they bring her back for
One of the most
for Marvel
brutal
Zombies.
scenes in all of Marvel.
Yeah. Then they bring her back for Marvel Zombies. And even in that, they sleep on her.
Yeah.
Because I think she's supposed to be able to... some people say she's supposed to be able to kill the Hulk. because he has like Infinity Stones in his body. So people are like, she should still be able to kill him, I think, or she shouldn't be able to kill him. I don't remember whatever dumb niggas were saying, but
I mean, arguably Wanda could, just blow up his brain.
she could just take out everything.
She could.
She could take out everything in the path.
Wanda's just essentially the reality.
I think if the start of WandaVision, why do I keep saying that? If the start of Wanda going crazy was at the end of Infinity War, it would have made WandaVision as a show better, and it would have made Multiverse of Madness way better.
Mm.
But yeah, I think we're both agreeing on Loki here.
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Yep.
Can I see the board real quick? Okay. I just need to know what numbers are out of here. So that way I know.
I would like, just keep the board.
Yeah. I keep getting the same numbers. I've gone 8 3 times in a row. Thank you. Okay. Thunderbolts versus Wonder Man.
Thunderbolts versus Wonder Man. So I've seen all of Wonder Man. It's the absolute best thing Marvel has ever put out. I will never change my opinion on that, no matter what character you tell me about, or it's better than everything. Everything they've ever put out. I cried. I laughed.
Based off of what I've seen, I'm willing to say Wonder Man.
Wonder Man made me react like a fangirl.
The only way that I would be defending Thunderbolts to my last breath right now is if they had the screech when Bucky came out. If they had that,
crazy. That's crazy.
No,
that is
no,
hands
no
down.
joke.
That is hands down.
I've been
your
this
most
is my
biased
self-denial.
opinion.
No joke. If they
That
had
has to
that
be your most
screech,
biased opinion.
It is 100%. If they had that screech, I would be dying on Thunderbolts just because of Bucky. But
That's crazy.
I can't.
That's crazy.
Because they didn't do it properly.
I
didn't do it properly.
genuinely think Wonder Man is not even probably. I keep saying probably just to be nice. Screw probably. Wonder Man is the best project the MCU has ever put out.
I'm only gonna say Wonder Man. Yeah.
Bet.
Eraser.
Eraser is
Somewhere.
Put it on
Okay.
the ground.
Next up is going to be No Way Home versus Eternals.
Okay, this one you may not agree with me.
I definitely won't agree with you if you're saying that.
This one,
I'm definitely not agreeing with you if you're saying that.
I want you to start on this one.
No Way Home.
Well, yeah, I know which one you have, but I'm saying I want you to start.
No, yeah, like. Why is it so loose right now? Like. I'm sorry, they aren't even in the same league.
They're
like,
not.
Eternals is if we are ranking these, Eternals is down in like C, D tier.
No.
And No Way Home is up in like A.
Definitely.
I'm not saying
but
No Way Home
Eternals
is S.
Eternals
But
is up
No Way
in
Home
A.
is at least
Eternals
A.
is
Eternals
A.
is non-A.
Eternals
is
is an A.
non-A.
Eternals
they
is
are
the
not in
most
the same tier.
Eternals is the most
No.
poetic, next to Wonder Man, of course. Eternals is the most poetic, eye-catching art piece the MCU has ever done.
Eternals is
Ever.
Eternals is good.
If Eternals came out at the right time, which is way before it should have,
Yeah.
it should have come out probably right after.
But No Way
Avengers.
Home came out like there.
No Way
there
Home
are
is a
pretty
cash grab.
Okay, but what other complaints are there?
No Way Home is the result of a ruined trilogy from Far From Home.
No.
Yes.
No.
No Way Home is the result of a ruined trilogy.
No.
And they had to do that. They had to do that.
I completely disagree.
If they didn't
so
do that,
wait,
Spider-Man would
So you
not
are
be
telling
as-
me that
as
there is
big
even
right
a
now.
single scene in the entirety of the Eternals that beats the scene where Peter Parker from the MCU
Mhm.
is beating the living
That's a great
shit
scene. That's a great
out
scene.
of the Green Goblin from
That's a great scene.
Tobey Maguire's universe.
That
You
one
are
scene-
telling me that there are
one scene
any
does not
scenes
hold that
from
entire
Eternals.
movie. Yes.
Yes, it does.
There is a fight between Icarus. I'm forgetting
And
the other
that's just the
person's
start
name.
of it, because then there's also Green Goblin's bomb, which is also another great scene, and then Aunt May's
Those
death,
are all
another
great. Those are all
scene.
great, but those are all reminiscent of things that have been done already in the Toby movies. That's the reason they do those scenes that way. All the scenes that happen that specific way, him fighting the Green Goblin on Statue of Liberty happens in Toby. It's a one-on-one with what Toby does in his movies. Hit the bomb, the pumpkin bomb, coming in the exact same way it does in the Toby movie, slow-mo and everything, blowing up the way. All that happens in the Toby movies. It's basically a one-on-one shot of multiple things in the Tobey movies. Multiple. Not to mention, everybody knew why they were in the movie. Everybody knew why they were cameoing in the movie.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that...
It's also not an original idea because it's going off of the back of Spider-Verse. That would not happen if Spider-Verse did not come out and was not a good movie. If Spider-Verse was not a good movie, they would have kept Spider-Man as a non-multiverse person. He just would have known about everything that happened because of Endgame. They would have kept him centralized.
I disagree.
Which is why they have to do it for Brand New Day. They have to bring him back.
Yes.
Because they made everybody forget him.
Yeah, but I disagree because I feel like unless they just insanely streamline it and where it's literally what Peter wanted from the start of No Way Home.
Yeah.
I still see him become that movie becoming a multiversal based thing, even if there was no Spider-Verse.
What I'm saying is
unless the MCU didn't go into the multiverse because of there not being a Spider-Verse.
No. They would have always gone into the multiverse, or else they wouldn't have brought in Guardians of the Galaxy.
I completely disagree.
The Guardians of the Galaxy wouldn't have connected to everything if it didn't gone. If it wasn't going multiversal.
Yes, it's literally in the same universe.
Yeah, but I'm saying with how big everything is becoming.
That's all in the same universe, though. Multiversal.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the MCU would have gone multiversal. They just would have kept Spider-Man way more low key with how much multiverse he's doing.
I think No Way Home would have played out the same way.
I don't think so.
I do.
I don't think the cameos would have been
the
there.
only difference might have been them coming back, them full on coming back.
I think they would have been.
Toby
I think they would have been cameos. I just don't think they would have been a part of the movie like that. They are main parts of the movie because they are cameos and it's nostalgia, or else you could have the exact same movie without them. You could have the exact same plot line, exact same movie, bring all the Toby villains and the Andrew villains in, and Andrew and Toby don't need to be there. It probably would have been a better movie that way. I'm not gonna lie, because the main reason we have Andrew is to remind Tom that killing is not the way to do it. Because Andrew was supposed to have a plot line where he goes kind of ballistic on everybody after Gwen dies. Yeah. And then Toby is there to remind Tom that Spider-Man is not the only thing you have to be. Mm-hmm. You can be a human outside of being a superhero. Those are both great things to bring in. So many other people could have told him that. It's also the same thing he learns in Far From Home because of Tony's death.
That's fair, but I feel like another big thing that makes that movie so good is the interactions between all three of them.
Yeah,
sure,
but it's
you
mainly,
can say it's a money grab and all that.
It's mainly nostalgia that's doing that.
Say that's bad because of it being a money grab.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying what makes Eternals beat it in this moment.
I completely disagree.
Is that Eternals is
I'm sorry, but
Eternals is something that got slept on. One, because of how long it was. Two, because it came out at the wrong time.
I will agree with that, but it's not better because of those reasons.
Yeah,
no.
I think it is. I think everything in Eternals and the reason they put it out, the way they put it out, I think if they just put it out a little bit earlier.
I'll put it this way: I watched Eternals and I was like, that was a good movie. I watched No Way Home and I was like, I love that movie. No Way Home wins every time. I'm sorry.
But that's because it's Spider-Man.
Every person thought that, though.
No.
It does. Yes, I can pretty much guarantee that everyone who walked out both of those movies thought pretty much the same thing.
I walked out of Spider-Man No Way Home thinking they were in their bag with this one. It's their most popular character, hands down. The Marvel's most popular character, hands down. Spider-Man. Not only did you use Spider-Man, you brought back his most popular some of his most popular characters with the Sinister Six, and you brought back the two most popular Spider-Men.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
Not only that. I
want to make it clear. I'm not saying No Way Home would beat everything else on this list.
No. I understand that.
Okay.
It obviously
it just has it. It does not be Eternals. I'm sorry.
I think with Eternals. Everybody slept on it because of when it came out. They didn't give it a chance because of when it came out.
I disagree. Because Eternals was trying to do too much with too many characters.
No, it wasn't. No, it was not. That's why the movie's so long. I think people sleep on it because the movie is long. It gives you all the time to understand what the character's doing, why they're doing it, what their reasonings for doing it. The only question people have is why didn't you put out the movie earlier so we understood the Eternals as everything was happening? Because if you think about it, the Eternals have been there since the beginning of the world. They came to Earth. They've been there the whole time. They just been keeping out of it.
The thing is like the Eternals, for that to have been done right, in my opinion, it would have needed to be multiple movies across multiple ages.
I don't think so.
Or even
I think
like
if it was a TV show, I agree with you.
Like yes, I was gonna say, or even if if they made it a TV show,
if they made it a TV show, I agree with you.
It would be No Way Home. 100%,
I think the great
as a movie, I'm sorry. No.
I think the great thing about the Eternals is that it's the first MCU movie that's not a superhero movie. It has superheroes in it. It is not a superhero movie at all. It is literally like it's like a poetic movie about like the way gods react to what humans do and the way humans react to what gods do, and like how we argue with each other on that front, and how most of the gods don't have good intentions at ever. Even in mythology where people are like praising them and all this, they don't have good intentions half the time. And that best Superman we've ever had, hands down. Best Superman we've ever had. Icarus is the best Superman we've ever had, and he's not even Superman. Next to Omni-Man. Omni-Man and Icarus, two villains, are the best Superman we've ever had. One of them's animated.
That's just because you like the darker Superman, though.
No. No, it's not. I'm talking. I think David Cornsweet is what Superman should be as a happy person. Henry Cavill just looks cool. He just looks cool. That's literally all. That nigga could pull up, not say one word, and everybody would be like, "Oh, cool, you look like Superman." That's all he gives off. David Cornsweet is Superman. I think we're gonna get more effortlessness from him as the time goes on. But the effortlessness that Icarus and Omni-Man show, and their presence of being there, where people can be happy around them, and then it's only when they are like, "Nigga, I'm gonna kill you," that people flip out. That's Superman. That's Superman to me. Not even like dark. The only reason, because both of them are dark because that's their task. It's not like they're evil, really. They're just like, I gotta do shit. Gotta get shit done. So that's horrible. But yeah, I think Eternals is like, I'm literally saying, okay, Wonder Man is not a superhero TV show. It's an actor TV show. That show made me cry. That show made me laugh my ass off. It had moments where I was literally punching my bed from how inspired and passionate they were talking. It was like literally watching a documentary, but two people are acting. Yeah. Right. Eternals is not that, because it's not based in realism as much as Wonder Man is. But Eternals is quite literally, if you took Avengers and just stretched that shit out across 4 hours. And it came out at the wrong time. I really think the main reason people don't like it is because it came out at the wrong time. So you're like, nigga, why are we finding all this shit out now? Like,
and so also it never does anything for the rest of the MCU.
Yeah, it does. That's the reason the hand is sticking out.
Oh yeah, right. That's right. Tiamat.
That's why I'm like, that's why I'm literally like, if it came out earlier, it would have made more sense. They wouldn't have had to use the Titans and the Sentinels and all that. I forget what they're actually called. The Celestials. They wouldn't have had to use Celestials if it got put out earlier. It would have just been like fighting these. Well, I forget what they're called, but fighting these sentients, whatever they're called.
Sentinels? No,
they're not sentinels. They're like sentients. I think it's close to Sentinel, but it's not. But yeah, I think I'll give it to you. Because I think a lot of people disagree with me here. But I think if you rewatch No Way Home versus Eternals, if you rewatch No Way Home and you rewatch Eternals is so much more in depth with its meaning, its storyline, and everything. No Way Home is literally the baseline of we're bringing Spider-Man back and Tom Holland fucks everything up. Like, that's literally what it is. Tom Holland fucks everything up, and everybody else has to fix it with him.
I mean, yeah.
Name one thing Tom Holland doesn't fuck up in that movie.
I mean, he doesn't fuck up trying to, like, literally fixing everyone. Green Goblin fucks that up, not Tom Holland.
Tom Holland was told multiple times, do not trust Green Goblin. By Toby, by Andrew, and by Doctor Strange. Do not trust them. We need to either send them back or we need to kill them. And Tom was like, let's find a way. He said,
But
everybody was
that's
like,
Spider-Man. That is Spider-Man.
no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Because Toby was like, nigga, you are suspicious to me, Norman. And then when Norman was like, I'm Green Goblin, he put balls to the wall and on accident killed him. Yes, he wasn't trying to kill him. But he was going to fuck up Norman Osborn.
Yeah, but at no point does Spider-Man intentionally kill people.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
But no,
that's not what I'm saying. And yes, he does. Yes, he does. Spider-Man kills people all the time.
Not intentionally.
Yes.
No.
Yes. There are many comics where Spider-Man's going off the ball.
Well, yeah, but that's the comics where he's crazy. The typical Spider-Man.
No.
Yes, I'm telling you.
Even Andrew in his movies has gotten to the point of almost killing people, and he's not going crazy. He's literally he just stopped pulling. If he just stops pulling punches, because they are extremely strong. So if he just stops pulling his punches, which he does all the time, like like I would say Tom Holland Spider-Man is the one who really doesn't kill people intentionally, but Toby kills people intentionally, and so does Andrew, for sure.
No, Andrew definitely has, but Toby hasn't.
Not on camera, but I'm saying those Spider-Man have been set up to like these people they would both kill somebody.
But I'm talking about the typical Spider-Man
would kill someone.
No, when someone thinks of Spider-Man, they think of it
they think of
hero that has a no-kill rule like Batman does.
They think
like
Spider-Man doesn't have a no-kill rule.
Spider-Man that has that.
Spider-Man doesn't have his gallery of villains
Why do you think
are
in the
just
PS4
not killable.
game he will punch people off a building and then they'll
That's
get web zip to the building?
That's the game. That's the game.
But that's
and
the
yes,
mechanics
Spider-Man,
so that way they don't die.
Spider-Man isn't going to try to kill.
Spider-Man technically has a no-kill rule.
Spider-Man doesn't kill henchmen, but if he's going to be fighting somebody like I would say that's the one thing I don't like about the PS4 games is that there are certain villains in the PS4 games where you're like, this nigga should die, and he doesn't, because the game programs it that way. Like the storyline is not meant to kill most of the villains. But Spider-Man with 100, like Spider-Man, deadass should have killed. If it was Andrew or Toby in Tom's role in Infinity War, Thanos is dead. With the help of everybody else, Thanos dies. And I would say Spider-Man is doing most of the damage.
I mean, maybe, but that would only be purely because of their experience at that point.
Yeah,
if you
mainly
take it
experience when it comes to
at
that. But also
at the same time as where Tom's Spider-Man is at that point.
No.
Like,
I'm just saying,
Tom does significantly better than either of them ever would in that scenario at that same
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom is once he gets to his peak level, he's the strongest. Spider-Man. But also, he's definitely the one who intentionally doesn't try to kill.
Yes.
But Toby gets to the point in all three movies where he's like, I'm about to kill somebody, and he's not going ballistic except for the suit, the black suit. Once he's in the symbiote suit, that's the only time he's going crazy.
And the time that he's like full on killing everyone, like not by accident or not like, oh well, that's just kind of how it fell.
When does he kill somebody in the movies?
Well, okay, technically, like you said,
because I give leeway when it comes to Uncle Ben died, so
yeah,
they have that moment.
But no, because technically he does kill Green Goblin. By accident. Technically, he does kill Doc Ock by accident.
No, Doc Ock kills Doc Ock.
That's fair, but he could have saved Doc Ock, is what I mean. He could have web-zipped Doc Ock and saved him.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to, though.
Yeah, no. That's what I mean. It's technically, arguably, he's the one who ended up killing Doc Ock, because he could have chose to save him.
Yeah.
And then...
But if Andrew got that third movie, he's killing people in that movie.
Oh, yeah, no.
Hands, matter what.
Andrew is supposed to be the Dark Spider-Man, though. It's literally yes.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No.
Yes. There's a reason why the first movie was dark, and then when the second movie came out, they made it light because no one liked the first movie because it didn't feel like Spider-Man.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is darker than The Amazing Spider-Man 1. Gwen Stacy dies in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. They have a whole back plot with his family, his mother and father being spies and stuff in Spider-Man 2. In Spider-Man 1, in Amazing Spider-Man 1, it's probably the most. It's probably the best Spider-Man we've ever had, in my opinion. He's just too cool. Even though he has no friends, he gets bullied and
Yeah.
is by himself most of the time. He's too cool. But I just think when it, I keep repeating it, but yeah, when it comes to Eternals, I just think the meaning of the movie is way better than No Way Home, because of the fact that you can say No Way Home's been done multiple times, specifically in the MCU. It's just a different version of it. Because literally Endgame and No Way Home are practically the same movie. You bring everybody back. You're fighting all the villains. We win. Reset. It's just the main person who's doing something now is it's one person instead of a whole group.
And also, No Way Home brings back all the villains, not just one villain with his army.
What do you mean? That's what I mean. We bring everybody back.
Well, no, because with Endgame, bringing everyone back technically, and for Endgame would have been bring back Ultron, bring back
No, we
literally
brought
everybody.
We brought back all the people.
That's what No Way Home did though. Is they literally brought back every villain and both the heroes from those.
That's because they didn't have enough heroes and villains to. They brought back the Sinister Six. They didn't just bring back every. It was already a specific group of people that they did.
It was basically everyone, because they even brought Venom back technically.
No, they didn't.
Not for the actual movie, but technically Venom was there at that time. And in the post-credit scene, it shows him flipping back, and then
yeah, but that's not. He's not in the movie as a villain.
No, he's not in the movie, but I'm saying that pretty much every single one of the main villains from those movies got brought back.
Yeah, because there's not that many villains.
There's
literally only the
one
Sinister
villain gets brought back in Endgame. That's it.
The one villain, and then they bring back every single superhero we've ever seen plus more. They bring everybody back. That's what I meant when I said everybody. They bring all the people we have already seen back with all the superheroes, and they bring back Thanos and his entire army. We don't need Ultron. Ultron's a completely different plot that came into Civil War. That's done with. We don't need him anymore. He's probably
I know that,
he's
but
probably
I'm
somewhere
saying that's the difference between the two. Is
no, the difference between the two is Endgame has so many more villains to bring back that they couldn't if they wanted to. That would be way too long of a movie with every single villain, plus not every single villain lines up. The Sinister Six are the people who get brought back in No Way Home. The Sinister Six are already a group of people in the comics who all work together with those exact same villains. All those villains just happen to be the villains that were used because they're his most popular villains. And they all get brought back by the person who brings in. We only got 3 Spider-Man to use. It's not like we can. With the MCU, we have. I don't even know how many different people we can use as a villain.
Arguably, because going off of that, if they wanted to for No Way Home, they could have brought in Spider-Verse characters. If Sony was willing to do this, they could have brought in Spider-Verse characters instead of the other live-action characters. If they brought in
Spider-Verse characters, the movie would have been
not animated, obviously, but I mean or not even the Spider-Verse versions of them, but a Spider-Gwen and a Miles, and they could have brought in more.
They could have, but that would have made the movie worse.
If that's what they were trying to do, I mean,
What do you mean if that's what they were trying? They were not about to use Sony's biggest name in Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy. They were not about to do that at all. At all. If they did that, they would have done it during the time of Homecoming and Far From Home. They would have introduced one of the characters somehow.
They technically already they didn't full on introduce Miles, but they have been hinting at Miles.
They've been hinting at it. I'm talking about introduce. They would have been like, yeah, Miles is right there, or they would have shown Miles. Not Aaron Davis. Miles. They would have been like, this is Miles Morales, or he would have been in the background somewhere doing some shit at somewhere Peter's at. They would have had it in a way where we are seeing Miles or Gwen somewhere. They're definitely not using Gwen.
Yeah.
Definitely not using Gwen.
Well, maybe for a Brand New Day, but
no.
Potentially.
No. If anything,
I feel like it would make people mad if they switch MJ for Gwen, but
yeah, I think they're going with MJ.
They better.
But yeah, I just think because I also, when it comes to things like this, right, when it comes to things like Spider-Man, Captain America, Black Panther, characters I like, I always have to give them a notch down because I'm the Tom movies are not the best Spider-Man movies. They might be a little bit more comic accurate, but they are not the best. I'm not gonna lie.
I disagree with this, but that's just because I love the Tom movies.
I love the Tom movies,
and
I love all the Spider-Man movies.
pretty much
But if we're going
everything
to
to do
if we're
with
going
them.
to rack up all the Spider-Man movies, Toby's are the best, Andrew's, then Tom's.
But for me,
You have
personally-
millions of dollars going in. You have hundreds of millions of dollars going to Tom's movies. You had still millions, but
yeah.
tens
But
of
for me
millions.
personally, if I'm like, I want to rewatch a Spider-Man movie, it's generally one of the Tom movies. Or honestly, it's probably Into the Spider-Verse. But
And
guess
I feel like that's
not-
more
not
like
part of the topic right now.
yeah. I feel like that's more like as you said. I do like the darker movies, but it's more because of the fact that like
Like
they give off more emotion. Tom Holland's best scene is when he's giving off the most emotion he possibly can. Infinity War,
No Way Home.
No Way Home at the very end, and when Aunt May dies.
Homecoming, when he's trying to push up the rock.
Yeah,
is
like-
the best scene
like-
in Homecoming.
Like all of his best scenes, all of Tom's best scenes are when he
And
is
I would argue
in the
Tom
deepest
Holland
amount
is
of
the
struggle.
reason why those movies are in my opinion at least, the best Spider-Man movies, because he gives it so much emotion to the character.
But all
it
that
makes
emotion
you
was
feel
already
like you
there.
are a
plus
part
more.
of the character.
All that emotion was already there, plus more. We have three. Don't make it sound like Andrew and Toby aren't like the best. Some of the best actors we've ever
Oh
had
no,
for
like
superheroes.
there are some great
Okay.
actors, but
Because Andrew, when I tell you Andrew is the most, I don't even have the words for how good Andrew is at Spider-Man, as Peter Parker Spider-Man, like I can't even put it into words. I can't even put it into words. The way I was completely shocked by the amount of actual like, I don't cry a lot for movies specifically.
Mhm.
When I tell you both Amazing Spider-Man movies, I'm bawling my eyes out when that nigga is bawling his eyes out because of how much emotion he actually puts off. Toby is an ugly ass crier, so it's hard for me to get tapped in with that.
that's valid.
Tom Holland it's too light. No, every scene is too light. The best scenes with Tom Holland are the scenes where he is in the deepest depression, going through the hardest moment, and it's because his entire trilogy is bright, light, and fluffy.
Which is why Brand New Day is going to be the best Spider-Man movie, because
If
it
it's-
should be the darkest.
If it's the darkest, it'll be the best Spider-Man movie
It should
probably ever put
logically
out.
be the darkest, because it is at his darkest.
It's
point.
at his darkest point. He's broke.
He's lost everything.
Yeah. Far From Home, when he's going through, and this is hands down, in my opinion, the best scene ever in all of Spider-Man. When he's going through the hallway, taking out all the drones, and he's
Same.
pissed as fuck,
It is
crying his eyes out, blood
second
all
favorite
over.
scene from all of Spider-Man. My favorite is the Green Goblin Tom Holland Spider-Man fight. It
Yeah,
has
yeah.
to be.
It's
Favorite.
good. It's
Second
good.
favorite scene though.
But-
is the drone scene.
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
hallway.
But when he's going through that hallway,
Mhm.
and then he's done, and he's like, okay, I did it. I can relax. Now I can like figure out who the fuck this nigga is. And then he just boy, when I tell you again, the thing that makes movies great, the things that makes all forms of media's the best thing that you could ever, better than books, whatever it is, right? Is the fact that surprisingly, I don't know how the fuck this works. I'm not a scientist, but surprisingly, feelings and the way they connect with everything else, you don't have to be like, I don't even know I don't know how to put it into words. I don't know how to put it into words. But the way that all of Tom's scenes are basically the entirety of the Amazing Spider-Man, both movies, which is why I think people are like, it's too dark, is because everything in the Amazing Spider-Man it ends sad, no matter what. It all ends sad. The first movie, kind of sad. Ends in a good way, but it's kind of sad. Second movie, they need to be like, hey, bro, I get Gwen just died, but guess what? He's fighting Rhino now. And then they never came back because they were like,
Yeah.
it's too dark. Niggas are too sad. we don't know where we're gonna go with him. The next movie, he's gonna have to kill niggas. So like, I mean, we like, can we even bring this back? Like, you know, with Toby's movies, same thing. They're all the best moments are either sad or extremely emotional.
Mm-hmm.
The upside down kiss in the rain,
Yeah.
extremely emotional.
Yeah.
The scene where he gets betrayed by Harry and he's like, strawberries. Yeah. I know every guy, girl, every bird, dog was pissed off when Harry did that. I know everybody was. And that's not even a dark movie.
Yeah.
That's I think everything Spider-Man does is great, but I think Eternals being the only movie that's been like that, and it got hated on, and it came out I think during COVID, so it didn't have the best marketing. Plus, people slept on it. No matter what you say,
Yeah.
Eternals was slept on.
Yes.
And it has probably some of the most interesting characters we've gotten since the beginning of MCU. No, I'll say it has the most interesting characters since Guardians. As like an origin story.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who else came out after Guardians.
Thunderbolts.
Origin.
You could say Deadpool and Wolverine. I wouldn't call those origin stories though.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
You know, and that's why I would, if we're saying ranking which one's better, I'm not gonna lie, I would have to put No Way Home above it.
Yeah.
Only because it's a fun movie. You don't need to pay as much attention, and you know these characters already. You're not learning new people.
Yeah.
But because of the fact that this is like, I would say Eternals is the start of the no origin stories era, which we're in right now. Every new character that comes out, Superman 2025, Supergirl, they're not origin stories anymore.
Well, I'd argue Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man is the thing that kicked that off.
It kicked it off. I think Eternals ended it though. I think people were like, once Eternals came out, they were like, we're done with origin stories.
No, so this is what ended origin stories, and this is what kicked off the no origin story.
Yeah, because Homecoming, not an origin story, it just starts. Eternals has like a 30-minute backstory, and then you come to the present day, and now it's the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
but that's going through. That goes through from the beginning of time all the way to 2025, and I think it came out in like 2019, 2020. Mm-hmm. So the timeline is confusing.
Yeah.
So I will say, this is another one I'll give to you. We just went on like an hour-long rant.
Yeah. Anything else I talked about debating which Spider-Man's better? Not even on topic.
Okay, so right now in the next round we're gonna have Fantastic Four versus Infinity War, Civil War versus Loki Season 1, Wonder Man versus No Way Home. Okay. What's our next debate?
We are going to do Deadpool and Wolverine versus Guardians 3.
This is another one where it's a cash grab. I'm giving it to Guardians. This is another cash grab.
I'm not gonna argue with this just because.
I remember I told you this before we went into the movie to see Deadpool and Wolverine. I was like, hands down, everything about this is about to be a cash grab, but I don't care.
Yeah, it's phenomenal anyway. But I will agree. I think Guardians 3 is it's a better movie in just like.
In all ways, I'm not gonna lie.
No, Deadpool and Wolverine's a better comedy movie.
No.
Any other way, Guardians 3 is better.
No way. No way you're saying what? You're saying for one of the most emotional movies we've ever had. And let's be real. Guardians has the best comedy out of all the MCU movies.
Other than the Deadpool movies, yes.
Guardians 2.
Because technically, Deadpool, all three of them are
part
all
of the
three
MCU
of them are
now.
So,
but
other than the Deadpool movies, I will agree with that. But no, Guardians is not funnier than the Deadpool movies.
I truly don't know.
It's two different types of comedy, but I don't find the Guardians movies funnier than the Deadpool movies.
I wouldn't say all of the Guardians movies are funnier than the MCU movies. But I think because of the lack of jokes in Guardians 3... Because it's not supposed to be a funny movie.
Yeah, no. But that's what I'm saying. Deadpool and Wolverine's a better comedy movie. Specifically,
but that's because it
is a comedy movie. That's the point, though. That's what makes it a better comedy movie. And the other two Guardians movies are comedy movies, which is why I bring that up.
I don't know.
Every other aspect, Guardians 1's definitely comedy. Guardians 2's also
Guardians 2 is a shit
50%
show.
Guardian.
Yeah.
The comedy.
Guardians 2 is a shit
Yeah,
show.
it's because of them trying to lean too much into the comedy aspect.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'll give you that.
Guardians 3 though is the winner.
Because I was gonna say Guardians 3 is an emotional movie.
Yeah, it's better in every other way.
In every way, almost. I would say in every way because of the lack of jokes and when the jokes are placed.
The only joke that I think,
How does this work? Open the door.
yeah, that's the only joke that I'm like, that one.
Put your hand on the handle. Now what do I do? Open the fucking door.
No, it's pushing the button. Okay, now what? Open the fucking door.
Yeah, like, come on. Like, that one, I'm not going to lie, Adam Warlock kind of brings the movie down a little bit.
Yeah.
But everything with him is hilarious.
Like, that might be one of the best comedy scenes within the main MCU.
Bro, I was watching that. I was also watching that last night. The scene where, I forget his name,
It
but
might be the best comedy scene in the entirety of the MCU, but
when she's opening the door?
yeah.
No.
No?
No, it's either Thor getting punched by Hulk
Valid.
or Puny
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
It's one of those two. Or I've been falling for 30 minutes.
No. I've been falling for 30 minutes as a winner. I've been falling for the past 30 minutes.
Guardians 3.
Guardians 3 is the winner of that one, yeah. Okay. Next.
We're going to try to speed through these last ones.
Shang-Chi
Versus Ragnarok. I'm
that's
giving
right.
it to Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi's a great movie.
I love Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi has some of the best like martial arts choreography in any MCU movie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think. Is there? It literally goes Winter Soldier, Shang-Chi.
Winter Soldier, Civil War, Shang-Chi.
That's valid. That was the only other order that I'd be like maybe this
'Cause-
order. But I mean martial arts. Like Civil War didn't have a lot of martial arts. That's
Yeah,
what
I did
mean.
Black Panther.
That's fair.
Black Panther, and I'm mainly going off of the airport fight. Inside the airport.
That's fair.
With Bucky, Iron Man,
Yeah.
Black Widow, basically everybody.
Yeah.
Basically everybody. But yeah, I'm mainly going off of that. And then you get a one-on-one fight with multiple different people. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's our next one? We got
one,
two more. Phase 1 and Phase 2.
First Avenger versus Iron Man. The first Avenger. I want to make sure it's known. This is Captain America,
Captain
the
America,
first
the first
Avenger,
Avenger versus
not-
Iron Man 1.
not the first Avengers movie. Two different things.
Yeah. I'm going Iron Man 1. I would normally give it to the first Avenger because I like it more.
do the first Avenger.
I like the first Avenger more,
I
but
have to.
Iron Man 1 is a staple. First Avenger is forgettable. You could start with Winter Soldier and be perfectly fine. You could start with Avengers, go to Winter Soldier, and be perfectly fine. You could be like, I don't need to know anything more about him.
You could just do that for the entirety of the MCU, though.
Yeah, but
Like, you could
I'm
literally
saying-
make that claim about any of the origin story movies
For
before
sure.
the MCU, and just
For
like,
sure.
start with the Avengers, go on from there.
I'm saying
Skip the boring
Iron Man holds a bigger role in the Avengers movie
Sure, but
Then- Captain America does.
but the first Avenger is just a better movie.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, I would say they're both equal when it comes to movies. I like the first Avenger more, but when it comes to like
when
which one are we going to put above the other one? For this, I would have to do Iron Man.
I have
Because think about it. First Avenger is just Captain America. That's all it's about. It's just about Steve Rogers, Captain America. And it's not until they go to take him out of the ice that you're like, okay, he's about to keep going.
yeah.
Right? So, if you think
But
about it,
I would argue, okay,
yeah.
more things from the first Avenger actually come back later in the MCU than the first Iron Man movie.
Yeah, but that's not what I was saying.
But I would
I'm
argue
saying-
because of that, the first Avenger has more of an impact on the overall MCU than the first Iron Man movie, even though the first Iron Man movie technically kicked off the MCU. The first Avenger has more stuff that comes back later. If you don't
Yeah,
watch the first Avenger, you're like,
but-
okay, who's this guy on Volmir guarding the Soul Stone? If you don't watch the first Avenger, you don't have context for Bucky, who you do see for over half that movie.
You don't really need context for Red Skull being on Volmir.
That's fair, but it's still really good to
You
know.
also get the backstory at the beginning of Winter Soldier with Bucky.
No.
Yeah, it starts with him falling off the train, and then he goes through the process of becoming the Winter Soldier. That's literally the beginning of the movie. Is that?
I don't think that's.
It starts with. It starts with. It doesn't start with that. Sorry.
It starts with the boat hijack. It starts with them.
No,
on
the
plane.
very beginning of the movie is Winter Soldier. It's him attacking Tony Stark's parents, and then it cuts.
That's right. Yeah.
So
that's
like
how that starts, yeah.
throughout Winter Soldier,
and then it goes
throughout Winter Soldier, they give you storyline of things that have already happened, and then in Avengers, they introduce everybody as if you've never seen them before, except for Tony Stark, because the entirety of Avengers is based around Tony Stark. And Captain America, but you need less information on Captain America because they give it to you as they introduce Captain America. They literally mention the ice like 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes. Like, I would say like 2 minutes into Nick and his conversation.
Yeah.
He's boxing. Not even then. They open up Captain America's scene with flashbacks while he's boxing. He's punching the bag.
Going into the ice, yes.
Of him going into the ice and a little bit of the war as he was doing everything.
Yeah.
And then it cuts out. Nick pulls up. He's like, yo, we need you for this. And he's like, hey, I don't know. I haven't really done anything since the ice. He's like, no, we need you for this. It involves the Tesseract. They talk about the Tesseract for a little bit. So Captain America, I'm not saying you
plus the
should.
Tesseract.
Yeah, I'm not saying you should skip it.
And the Infinity Stones. It's literally the first movie that introduces Infinity Stones and shows you what they're able to do.
A little bit.
And also the Super Soldier Serum, which is first
Super
introduced
Soldier
in
Serum is the easiest concept to understand.
yeah, but that still comes into play like a bunch. I am
I'm
genuinely
saying it gets
arguing that the
explained.
first Avenger is more important because it has more to do with the future of the MCU than the first.
But
Iron
I'm
Man
saying,
movie.
but I'm saying everything that's important in
And it's more fun to watch.
No,
Yes,
I can't.
The
give you
first
that one.
Avenger is more fun to watch.
I can't give you that
100%.
one. I think.
I'm gonna be honest. I kind of dread watching almost any of the Iron Man movies.
But they are more fun when you think about. Well, no, Iron Man 2's not. Iron Man 2's not. Iron Man 3 is definitely the funnest Iron Man movie.
That yes, I will agree with that. Iron Man 3 is equally as fun to watch as the first Avenger.
But Iron Man 1 is fun to watch.
I'm not saying it's
like,
not fun to watch. I'm just saying the first Avenger is more fun to watch.
I think it's because me and you like timepieces.
I mean, yeah, 100%. That had something else to do with it.
Like,
but
I enjoy a nice war story.
yeah, but the first Avenger is like, I'm sorry, like.
But okay, you gotta hear me out though. Everything that
tell
happens.
me anything from Iron Man 1 that actually has like thoroughly affects things in the future.
Iron Man 1 starts creates Wanda and Pietro. I wouldn't say the events from Iron Man 1, but Iron Man 1.
How?
He literally Stark Industries. That's
okay,
why. That's the reason everybody kind of hates him.
That's fair.
It's because of Stark Industries.
That's fair.
Iron Man 1. Yeah.
Wartime.
Iron Man 1 creates the big controversy between superheroes and humans, whether it be mutants or not. That's the start of it. Cause from there we get Iron Man 2, because that's the only thing Iron Man sets up is superheroes. That's it.
Yeah.
Iron Man 2 sets up controversy between the government and the Avengers. Because Iron Man's like, I'm not giving up my suit. I'm not giving y'all shit.
I'm talking about because
I know you're talking about just Iron Man 1, but
yeah.
Iron Man 1 is just supposed to set up Iron Man. Captain America sets up multiple things, but all of those things you get multiple different renditions of what it's supposed to be. You get a description from Civil War about the serum. You get it in Winter Soldier. You get it in the First Avenger, obviously.
Yeah, but nothing explains it as good as the first Avenger.
That's because you're watching the origin story.
Exactly.
But it doesn't need that deep of an explanation, is what I'm saying. Everything that gets explained in Captain America does not need that deep of an explanation until deeper into the show. So in Winter Soldier, we need a deep explanation. In Avengers and Winter Soldier, we need a deep explanation as to how Cap stayed alive and why Bucky is Bucky.
Yeah.
Right now, why Bucky's the Winter Soldier, how he stayed alive. We get the exact same description and explanation of the Super Soldier Serum in both of those movies. In Civil War, exact same thing happens. Except this time, instead of talking about Bucky, we're talking about the other Winter Soldiers.
Yeah.
In Black Panther, that happens because now we're talking about a Super Soldier Serum that's natural instead of chemical.
Because
we're talking about the fruit. We're talking about the heart-shaped herb.
like, yes, technically that does make him a super soldier, but it's not a super soldier serum. It's like more of like a, well, you just said it, a super soldier.
It's literally
herb.
just we're just talking about a natural version
Yeah,
instead of the
but
one we know. And then we get it again in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They explain it to John Walker, then they explain it again to Sam Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get it in Thunderbolts, and we get it multiple times in Thunderbolts because they talk about the Winter Soldier program, they talk about Bob, and they talk about John Walker taking the serum.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had the same explanation about just the super soldier serum multiple times. That's not even talking about the Tesseract, which comes up, I think, 4 or 5 times throughout the MCU outside of First Avenger.
You're the thing is
I'm proving your point as to why the First Avenger is important, but I'm also saying that it's not as important because you get it so many times.
I disagree because
And
I'd
it's
also
easier
say
to digest in all the other movies.
the First Avenger, I would argue that the biggest thing with the First Avenger is that it shows who the creator, or involving Super Soldier Serum, I mean, it shows who created Super Soldier Serum and his own outlook on the world.
Yeah.
That is a very big aspect of the first movie in general, and why Steve gets chosen to take the Super Soldier Serum.
If we're saying if you want to have a stronger opinion on Captain America and Steve Rogers, totally First Avengers, you kind of got to watch it. Like, you're not really going to understand Steve Rogers if you really care about him like that.
Yeah.
You know? But also, we get multiple flashbacks from Steve Rogers of past times. In Age of Ultron, he goes through an entire dreamscape from Wanda of the celebration after he dies.
Yeah.
And then what is it? We get the scene at the end of Endgame. Not that important, but another time where it goes back. We're not talking about it, but there are multiple things that talk about Peggy Carter, and like she has her own little mini series and all that.
Yeah.
So I just think that if we're saying importance when it comes to plotline and storyline, we got to give it to Cap. But if we're saying just overall movie, it's Iron Man.
I still have to give it to Cap.
It's Iron Man because Iron Man. This is a rare thing that I care about, but I only kind of care about it when it comes to the Iron Man movies or like the more solo feeling movies, because it's not. None of the Iron Man movies really connect to the MCU, if you think about it. You don't really need to watch any of.
You can literally just skip them.
Yeah, the only Iron Man movie you need to watch is Iron Man.
Yeah,
because it's the only one that Iron Man.
It's the one that kicks it all off. Like, that's
so if you want to know Iron Man, and that's the same thing with Cap, is if you want to know these people, you have to watch their first movie. Except, no, definitely Thor. Thor's like the most important one. You have to watch to understand him.
Yeah.
So because of that, I think that with how much everything else is important that's in Captain America, that's why it gets brought up so many times, is so people just don't forget. And because of that, it gets a little boring to listen to all the time. Where you're like, if you binged the MCU, the entire MCU, none of the Iron Man movies talk about anything else that's happening in the MCU.
So therefore, they're not important to the MCU.
That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is that it's the better overall movie because you don't need to focus on all of that. You're just watching Iron Man be Iron Man and be Tony Stark and go through all of his things. It's not until Iron Man 3 that they start bringing things up that have happened in the MCU with like the Avengers and all that.
And also when things will actually come into
the
MCU.
But I think that, and then also because of the fact that multiple things in the first Avenger get brought up over and over and over again throughout every other movie. Like almost once the Tesseract gets introduced to all the Avengers, so once the Avengers ends, the Space Stones, the Infinity Stones are literally the main plot point of every single movie. Well, unless it's an origin story. I'm not saying that's a problem. I'm just saying
have to be for the
I'm just saying that's like you don't need to watch Captain America to understand everything else that's happening when everything else in Captain America First Avenger gets brought back up multiple times over and over and over again. Cap being in the ice is a joke at a certain point. And then they go back in time to 2012 and they have he has a small reminiscent moment, fights himself, and then all that happens. As I said, the Tesseract gets brought up many, many times. The Space Stone gets brought up many, many times. The Mind Stone gets brought up many, many times. It literally becomes a main character at one point. So I'm like, those things that are the main plot point outside of Steve
Yeah.
in First Avenger get brought up so many more times that you're like, at a certain point, you're like, you don't need to watch Captain America: First Avenger to understand these things. You know what I'm saying? So to understand the super
Sure,
soldier
but I feel
serum
like
and this Infinity Stones, you don't need to watch First Avenger. You need to watch it if you want to know Red Skull and why he's up, and Volmir and Steve Rogers, and a deeper story to Bucky. Those are the main things you need to know to watch
Yeah.
it for. Outside of those three things, you could watch from you can watch Iron Man, Thor, Avengers, and move on.
Not even. You could watch Thor, Avengers, and move on.
I only say Iron Man because Iron Man does not get an introduction. He just comes in. In Avengers, he has no introduction. He comes in, you're supposed to know who he is. Everybody else gets an introduction as if you don't know them. Tony comes back and he's underwater fixing something, flies back up, lands, and it's done. And now he's talking to Pepper, going through everything. Coulson comes in, gives him the papers. He goes through everything. We are looking at Tony Stark as if we already know him. Everybody else, we get the phone call with Natasha, and she's being shown as Black Widow. She's not being shown as Natasha Romanoff. We get the boxing moment where Cap's literally going through, reminiscing. Yeah. We get the moment in India with Bruce Banner. Like, Clint Barton is shown to be the sideman. Like, we're learning these characters for the first time, it feels like. But Tony Stark's the only one who's like, and Nick Fury because of the end of Iron Man. So, like, those two people, Tony Stark, Pepper, those three people, Tony Stark, Pepper, and Nick Fury, get introduced as if you've always known them. And you're supposed to know who these people are. If you don't, then you got a few seconds to figure it out before it gets a little confusing. Everybody else, Cap, Natasha, Banner, all of them, they get introduced like, we've never seen these guys yet. Even though the only person who doesn't have a movie, and Thor, but the only person who doesn't have a movie is Black Widow out of everybody that I named.
And Hawkeye.
And Hawkeye, but nobody cares about him. So like, again, I love the first Avenger, but if I'm playing devil's advocate here, Iron Man is the watchable movie.
No. No, it is not.
Iron Man is the watchable movie. The first Avenger is a great movie.
It's a superior movie.
But
it's the superior movie. There is a reason why we both agree that our number one favorite MCU movie is consistently switching between the first Avenger and Winter Soldier.
And it's because First Avenger is a great origin story movie.
And Winter Soldier is a great spy movie.
Exactly.
However,
do you know what a
they
great
are the
movie
two
is?
best.
Do you know what a great movie is, period, though? It's not number one on my list. Iron Man's not number one on my list, but it's top 3. I put it over everything else because not only is it the start, we got something to prove here. It's not only that. It's just a movie. We have something to prove, but we are not proving anything right now. We're just showing you who our character is. That's it. Captain America came in with something to prove and a storyline that needed to be furthered on. It needed to be pushed. You got to complete this storyline because we can't end it here. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, but I agree, but I disagree with that. Is the reason why Iron Man's better. I'd argue that's
I'm
the
just
reason
saying
why
better
Iron Man's
as an overall general movie.
I disagree.
Okay.
The first Avenger is more entertaining to watch for me. It is more enjoyable to watch for me. It ties more into the MCU. The only reason why Iron Man is a must-watch is for what you had just said, because he is the only character in the
who
Avengers
doesn't get an introduction.
That doesn't get an introduction. That's the only reason. All 3 of those movies, any of them, are a must-watch. Is that one for that one reason?
Nah, the other 2 aren't must-watch.
No. I'm saying that's the only reason any of them are at all. If Iron Man gets a proper introduction in the first Avengers, you could straight up skip all 3 of the Iron Man movies, act like they don't exist, and watch through the entirety of the MCU. It might take away a little bit from the end of Endgame and him dying, but you really wouldn't affect you in like the story. Maybe a little bit in Shang-Chi and Wonder Man on the Mandarin, but again, like we're talking about with Captain America, it all gets explained during it anyway. So
yeah, but that's what I'm saying is they did not make the Iron Man movie. You don't need to keep up with the Iron Man movies because they don't need to connect to everything. The Iron Man movies are just movies.
In my opinion, that's what makes them worse instead of better. Because the thing that makes the MCU such a great industry is, like, the thing when everyone was enjoying the MCU movies the most was when they were tying together.
No.
Like, yeah.
No.
When they were tied together consistently.
It was when they were putting out good stuff.
Well, yeah.
The tying together was just a cherry
The tying
on top.
together was what was making them consistently put out good stuff.
No.
And having
it was their
be tied
variety.
together well.
At first, it was their variety. They kept it nice and varied.
Yeah.
And it was good that way. And then they were like, okay, now we need to connect everything. Once they tried to connect everything, it got bad.
No, I disagree.
Yeah. Once they that's Infinity War. Once they connect everything, Infinity War, that's when it started getting bad. Endgame was worse than Infinity War, and then once Endgame ended, now everything's connected. Now we got to figure out how to keep everything connected. Now we're in rough patches now. And we're just getting out of that, and it's because they're doing the thing they started doing with Iron Man and Eternals, where they're like, hey, we're not going to try to connect everything in the same way. We're going to make everything a little bit different, and the only things you guys need to worry about is, are we in the same universe? Not are we in the same timeline, not are we in the same day.
Yeah, but
like all that.
I don't mean like in terms of like they're full-blown like characters overlapping. No. I mean like there's like one or two plot points from each movie that ends up playing a role in a different movie later on.
Yeah.
And during that time, which
that's the same thing that happens with Iron Man. It's just only with Iron Man. It doesn't affect everybody.
Anything else in the MCU though, other than Iron Man. That's my point.
But it does. We wouldn't have the Maximoff twins if Tony Stark was not Tony Stark.
We definitely could have the Maximoff.
We could. It just
would.
We just would have had to wait till Magneto got introduced to the MCU.
Not even.
How else would they would have been brought up?
Literally, just it be a random bomb, and it doesn't even necessarily have to do anything with Tony. A random bomb landed in their house. It doesn't blow up because of Wanda using her magic to prevent it from blowing up. And then they go to, they end up getting found by some Sokovian scientists, researchers that end up test on them with the
Tesseract.
Mind Stone?
Yeah, it's the Mind Stone from the Scepter.
And then, no, it's not the Tesseract, by the way. Tesseract has Space Stone in it.
I know, that's why I switched it.
But doing tests on them with the Mind Stone, which is what full-blown activates Wanda's powers to the extreme point that they are, and also activates her brother's powers. That could be how that goes. It doesn't have to be a Stark specific.
No, I wasn't saying that.
Everything else
I'm
about
not saying
that can play
it
out.
has to, but
Like,
Stark Industries has always been that.
No.
Yeah.
It was that initially. And
No,
then
I'm
he
saying it's
shifted it
always
from
been I'm saying that there is no. The only change with that storyline is the Maximoff twins not being Magneto's kids. That's like the main thing that's got switched.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything else is accurate. Like they don't like Tony Stark.
Yeah, but I'm just
and they
saying,
have reasons to want to kill Tony Stark and all that.
Yeah, I'm just saying like it doesn't.
So,
like,
I'm saying without that one thing gives them full motivation to want to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Without that,
But
why are they doing it?
Quite frankly, because they're brainwashed kids.
They're not brainwashed.
Well, no, I'm saying that could be the reasoning though.
Why would they like? They're under control of the Scepter, brainwashed, or they just got.
No, literally in the terms of it. If you are a child being told something your entire life over and over and over again, you're gonna think that's true.
But that's not what happened. They started getting.
I know, but
they weren't
that
in
could
there
be the
as
reasoning, and that could be how that plays out. If it wasn't Tony who made that bomb, that is my entire point. They could have it to where it's not Tony because of Captain America and Red Skull and that entire situation, because that's the people who are doing the research on the Mind Stone at the time. Is the current Hydra organization, which is another thing the first Avenger brings in, by the way. Didn't even think about that. Don't know why.
I don't think it's that important either. Hydra's important only for Cap and S.H.I.E.L.D. And S.H.I.E.L.D. is
I'd argue
only really brought
that
up
is kind of overall, like, it's important until the end of Phase 2.
It's important until Winter Soldier, and then it's no longer a thing.
The end of Phase 2.
Winter Soldier's not the end of Phase 2. It's like the beginning.
Also, Hydra is still a thing because of
with Age of Ultron.
S.H.I.E.L.D. too.
Yeah, but you gotta go watch
And-
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for that.
Well, yeah, but that's still part of the MCU.
Now it is, but we're talking about We're
That
mainly
was
talking
when
about
it
things
first
that were
came out,
connecting.
too.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, when it first came out, it was canon.
Mm-mm.
That's why they had to. That's why everyone was confused. That's why Phil Coulson was alive, and they literally had to go into the show and give him a reason to be alive for the show.
I remember them making that happen because they started
it is
connecting.
canon to the MCU, or it was initially, and then because of how
Yeah.
varied it became, and in
But-
humans and all that, they didn't want to write that into the movies.
Yeah,
So
and-
they're like, okay, it's not canon, and now it is re-canon with some timeline jumping.
And I'm not gonna lie, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is like the least important thing you need to watch in all of the MCU. There's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
one thing you're missing.
Unless
from
Inhumans
Agents of
end up
S.H.I.E.L.D.
actually coming into play, I 100% agree.
Inhumans are just gonna be mutants. They're not gonna.
No, Inhumans and mutants are two different things.
I know they are. They're not gonna do Inhumans.
I'm
is what
saying that if Inhumans, because basically if they bring anyone who has powers from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in, they have to be Inhumans, because they've already set that up as Inhumans. So either Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to be a main part of the MCU and like actually somewhat tie into things somehow, or Inhumans are just not going to be a thing.
I don't
period.
think so. Shield's but Shield's been done since Phase 2 for sure.
Yes.
100%.
And then Hydra was still around for a little bit here and there.
Hydra's done
Doing
in
some
Age of
things.
Ultron, which is Phase 2. Hydra's completely done in Phase 2. The next thing we're dealing with when it comes to like government terrorist attacks
Yeah.
is what are they called? The Breaker or something
Yeah.
in
The
Falcon and Winter
Power
Soldier.
Broker. Power Broker.
Yeah.
But it's not them as the...
And then I mean, okay,
Thank you.
Hydra's done technically in Phase 3 because of what Civil War brings up. That's when Hydra's officially over because
Yeah.
the dude tries to Zemo tries to bring it back.
That's what it was. I was
But
like, Civil War,
even
there's something to do with
Even then, that's such a minor plot
Yeah.
in Civil War that it's like
Yeah.
he literally says, "I'm not trying to bring back anything. I'm just trying to destroy you guys."
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, I knew this one was going to be the biggest debate.
I didn't think
kinda
it
knew
was.
I kind of knew it was going to be.
I didn't think it was. I thought the next one was.
No way.
I thought the next
really?
one was. Yeah. I'm playing devil's advocate. I told you that.
Okay.
I'm pretty much all of these except for the ones where it's completely obvious I'm playing devil's
Yeah.
advocate. Okay, so what are we saying here?
I'm saying the first Avenger.
You're sticking with the first Avenger.
Yes. If you want, we can like flip a coin or something.
Okay, give me the most powerful scene from First Avenger.
There's a lot. I'm trying to think if there's anything that trumps that scene.
Trump's what scene?
The scene where he gets his powers.
Yeah, there is.
And I mean in its entirety, like him chasing all of it.
Oh, that's a completely different scene though. Because I was gonna say that's the best scene in the entire movie.
Is when he's chasing the
Is when he's chasing
guy that
the bandit
blows it
dude.
up.
Yeah. That's the hands down best scene. We get to see everything. In my opinion, that's the best part. That's the best version of Cap right there. Him desperately chasing somebody, not even caring that he has these powers, none of that. He doesn't even really realize what he's doing. He just
Yeah.
went for it. And he now has the ability to do it. He has the dash moment where he's running down the street.
Mhm.
He's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, no, it's
That's
so
that's a
good.
great scene. That's a great
So
scene.
good.
That's a great scene. But Iron Man is it's just such a fun movie, dude. The scene where he's flying for the first time,
I mean,
trying to put on his suit.
Are you saying it the best or the most impactful scene?
I'm saying the best, which in my opinion would also be the most impactful.
Okay, because I'd argue the most impactful is literally the impact scene, where he's going down in the
Where he
plane.
hits the no. I think that's one of the worst scenes. It's too long. I think it's too long. I also don't like the fact that it's like
accurate though. I appreciate that. How long that is accurate.
No. I mean
thousands of feet in the air during World War II.
By too long, I mean this nigga he had too much time. He could have got up.
That's valid. That's valid.
Like he could have pushed the plane downwards, got up and jumped out.
The whole reason why he couldn't is because
He wanted to make sure it was stable. And
Well,
didn't start doing that.
It's because it had autopilot on it.
That's what I mean. He wanted to make sure he
Yeah.
wasn't doing that.
It wasn't gonna
I mean,
keep going
he
if
wasn't flying
jumps out.
upwards. I didn't do a weird hand motion. I didn't do a weird hand motion. So.
The plane didn't want to do that. He didn't want the plane to do that hand motion.
Or if they slow-moed it. If we had... There are so many moments in Captain America that I'm just like, if this was a little bit... It felt... I love Captain America First Avenger. It's one of my favorites. Iron Man's not even on the leaderboard of one of my favorites. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. But overall, Iron Man is just such a fun movie, and it gets to the point... I'm not going to lie, it feels like two different movies. Because there's one part where you get Tony Stark, the rich billionaire,
Mm-hmm.
and then there you get Iron Man, the hero saving everybody. And it's pretty much a perfect split of those two. You get the beginning where he's this rich, cocky billionaire being a playboy, philanthropist.
Yeah.
Just doing his thing. And then once that switch happens, it's a superhero movie. It's no longer this almost documentary of a fuck up. It's this like super impactful movie of almost getting back at the people who did you wrong.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Because as far as fun scenes go, like there's also the scene of like when during the montage where he's like going around a bunch of the different bases. I don't think we can say what side they were fighting for.
They're fighting for America.
No, I'm talking about the bases Cap was going to and infiltrating and
the
destroying.
German?
Yeah.
Yeah, the German bases. Yeah.
I mean the specific name. I was gonna say the specifics of it. I don't think we're allowed to say that word on.
Yeah.
That's a gray area, maybe. I don't know.
You guys know. It's
Yeah,
like,
you
it's
should know.
It's like 1940 something.
Yeah.
You guys, Germans, 1940s. Just
You
put two and
figure
two.
it out.
Put two and two together. Two Z's.
But they asleep. Okay, they were sleeping the entire time. We had Captain America. They were sleeping.
They're sleeping, bro. I feel like
because like that pretty much that entire montage is just so much fun. Like from the scene where he has two giant plasma cannons shooting at him.
Yeah.
That he shoves his shield onto the front of his motorcycle and goes above them and destroys them.
I just think, you know,
to
Iron
the
Man is such a
giant tank
fluid
that
movie.
he blows up with its own bombshell.
Iron Man is just such a fluid movie, though.
So is Captain America.
It definitely is, but
Captain America does everything Iron Man does it, but better.
No, because Captain America can't do certain things better. He just can't. The movie just cannot
Except for like
do
the
certain things better.
the billionaire playboy.
Yeah,
aspect
all
of
of the
there's aspects of it, yeah, but
the like super nerdy stuff.
the generalized premise of the two movies are essentially the same thing. It's just Captain America does it all better in the generalized sense.
I'll give it to you.
This next one's gonna be another one of those
This next
debates.
one's gonna be rough. It's actually gonna be rough.
Final one we have for right now. So is this gonna be part 1 and part 2 is gonna be that? Or is this gonna be all one thing? Okay, yeah. So this is gonna be a long one.
Okay, you start.
Okay. I mean, we basically were talking about it.
Yeah, we talked about this one pretty much already.
Winter Soldier versus Age of Ultron.
Mm-hmm. You have Winter Soldier. I have Age of Ultron.
Yep.
What are your thoughts? These movies are on par with each other.
Yeah.
Completely. Anybody who disagrees, you sleep on Ultron, okay? Anybody who disagrees, you're not a Marvel fan, you're not an Ultron fan, you're not a Tony Stark fan, you're not a Civil War fan, because all of those things happen in this movie, okay? Proceed.
I personally feel like Winter Soldier is better.
Winter Soldier is better, because Age of Ultron is a mess.
It is.
But
it is so good, though. It is a fun, really
Age
good
of
movie.
Ultron is 10 times better than Thanos.
You mean Ultron is 10 times better than Thanos?
Yeah, sorry, I meant to say it. Yeah.
Okay. Because I was going to say, if you were trying to say Age of Ultron is 10 times
I
better
call
than
the
any
entire-
of the, either of the
No,
two
no, no,
movies
no, no,
Thanos appears in,
No. I call Ultron the Age of Ultron because it's like it
It's this
happens and
movie.
then it goes.
yeah.
You know. But yeah, I think Ultron as a villain is more impactful, and I'm not gonna lie, Thanos is just Ultron with flesh and purple.
Thanos is Ultron, but with a physical body.
Ultron is a physical
Basically.
body. He was made of metal.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's why I said flesh and purple and a gauntlet.
And strong.
Strong in the terms of fighting, because Ultron didn't really fight.
Yeah.
He just shot people. And cut
Although-
his arms off.
Did you, real quick, since we're on this topic of
Mhm.
Thanos, did I tell you the theory, at least, as to how Cap was able to hold back Thanos' hand?
I think he could not. He just wasn't giving up.
Sort of.
Like his
So-
will was just pushing it.
Yeah, basically what it is Thanos, when he goes to, like, squash
Yeah.
Cap or whatever he was planning to do, he does it with the gauntlet
I think
hand.
he was gonna go bitch slap him. I think he was going like that, and Cap just catches it.
But he does it with his gauntlet hand.
Yeah.
So when Cap grabs it, both him and Thanos are
sharing.
sharing the ability
Infinity
of the
Stones?
Infinity
Mhm.
Stones. And we see what happens in Guardians of the Galaxy through that, in that if they all have the same goal in mind, it will just amplify the
Yeah.
powers. However, Infinity War shows us what if they have two opposite goals in mind and opposing goals in mind.
Yeah.
In that the stones don't take effect,
Mhm.
and they essentially just even and balance everything out between the two of them.
Yeah.
Because
that's their
it
job.
becomes a battle of will at that point.
Yeah, that's their job.
Over the stones, which is why Thanos had to bitch slap Cap to get him away from the gauntlet, or else Cap literally probably would have taken the gauntlet off of his hand.
Yeah,
which is another reason why no one else could have taken that gauntlet off of Thanos' hands other than Captain America. Which
Captain
is why them
Spidey.
trying that. No, Spider-Man is the
they almost had it off, and then
Yeah,
Quill
yeah.
was like, "You," and knocked that nigga out.
Yeah, but that's kind of my point. Is like Captain America is the only one who actually could have done that,
Well, no.
because for
'Cause-
them doing that, no one was touching the gauntlet. That's why Thanos was able to just bitch slap him off of it, basically, and still use
For-
Infinity Stones on
For Cap?
on Titan. No, on Titan.
No, everybody had hands on the gauntlet.
But it was wrapped in the cloak. It was wrapped in Doctor Strange's cloak.
Yeah.
So there was no physical contact with the metal that's sealing the.
Spider-Man was
Infinity
literally
Stones.
grabbing it and pulling it. He was literally pulling it up by the fingers. And then he has like a web. Then he like sends
Yeah,
back
I
and puts
thought
a web
it
on
was
and
doing
starts
his
pulling.
webs.
No,
his
he
webs he
goes from going like this, and then he switches to the webs and starts yanking it up.
Does Cap have any gloves on? That's my next
Cap has
question.
fingerless gloves.
Okay, that could be another thing too, though. Is like
Because there was like
Cap
a small
would be
energy
having
surge.
like
You see like a
full
small
like
energy surge.
contact with them,
Yeah, he's literally like
Like,
full grabbing
yeah.
the thing.
and physical contact too. It's not
Yeah.
just. So yeah.
Okay, so let's get into this.
Okay.
Okay. I never thought we would have this deep of a debate about any of these.
No.
I was like concerned that this was going to be a short episode. 'Cause
Yeah,
we were just,
I
like,
kind of was too.
we were just gonna be agreeing.
Yeah.
Okay, Winter Soldier, Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron, messy. Winter Soldier, masterpiece. Age of Ultron just happens to be a messy masterpiece.
True.
So, which ones?
Winter Soldier is better.
Tell me why, because again, I'm playing devil's advocate.
I know.
so.
I know. The combat, just the choreography in its entirety.
Yeah, it's
Like-
literally supposed to be that.
It is the
We're talking
best
about- we're
choreographed
talking about-
Marvel movie.
We're talking about the three niggas who only do hand-to-hand combat. That's all of them.
Four.
Yeah, because of Falcon.
Yeah.
So everybody here does hand-to-hand.
Plus, it does technically introduce both of the potential future Captain Americas into the MCU.
Not Bucky. Bucky's never even. That was the thing that pissed me off about Bucky.
No. I say both of the potential because Bucky never becomes one, but when you're watching it, you're always like, okay, either Bucky or Sam. Like,
Yeah.
you'd expect Bucky, but the only reason you think Sam is because he's younger, and, there's an aspect of it. He's
It
been in
should
less
have been
movies.
Bucky.
I mean, I concur. But that has nothing to do with the Winter Soldier movie, okay? That has nothing to do with this movie. This masterpiece of a movie, the best movie in Phase 2,
Here's my
and
problem.
I'm dying on that hill.
Here's my problem with Winter Soldier. My problem with Winter Soldier is Civil War.
Their problem with Winter Soldier isn't even Winter Soldier.
My problem with Winter Soldier is that niggas forget that Winter Soldier fucking happened. So when they talk about Civil War, they act as if Winter Soldier was not a thing. And then they bring up
What do you mean? What do you mean?
As in genuinely, people forget Bucky was under control. He had no control.
Mind control?
He had no control over what he was doing in Winter Soldier.
Uh-huh.
And then they bring it up in Civil War as if he is under control in that moment. He's under mind control in that movie, which he's not.
At which moment?
At any point. The only time he's under mind control is when he breaks out of prison with Zemo.
Yeah,
that's
why I asked. At which point?
That's it. That's why I'm like, he's never really under mind control except for
that one
flashbacks
point.
in the prison breakout in Zemo. So that's my problem with Civil War, is that
Civil War.
I mean, that's
We're
my
not
problem
talking
with
about
Winter
that
Soldier. That's my problem with Winter Soldier. Is that Winter Soldier is such a good movie that people forget that it has a storyline.
It's such a good movie that you only remember that okay, no. I'll put it this way. The movie is so perfect in everything it does for the movie that it is that you remember every single one of the insanely flawlessly choreographed fight scenes, and it kind of makes you forget about the plot of
everything else
because the fight scenes are just that
it's
good.
too good.
It is the best fight
It's
scenes
too
in
good.
the entirety of the MCU. Might even be the best fight scenes in almost any movie ever.
That's my problem with it.
So your problem is that it's too good?
It's too fucking good.
Okay, Winter Soldier wins. This is a stupid debate.
No. This matters. This matters.
Winter Soldier wins.
This matters.
You
This
literally
matters.
just said your problem is that it's too good. Winter Soldier wins.
No. Did we? We didn't. Okay, we didn't. Because I was gonna say if we put Deadpool and Wolverine on here,
No.
Age of Ultron wins because Deadpool and Wolverine is a beautiful, perfect mess, and so is Age of Ultron.
I agree with that, but that's why Deadpool and Wolverine isn't on there.
I'll give it to Winter Soldier, but Age of Ultron, and you have no Winter Soldier without Age of Ultron. You have no Age of Ultron without Winter Soldier. Not gonna lie.
No, you have Winter
honest.
Soldier without Age of Ultron.
You have Winter Soldier, just not as good. Winter Soldier brings up. Sorry. I'll take that back.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'll take
say.
that back. Winter Soldier. Without Winter Soldier, you don't have Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Because Winter Soldier is literally what. Also, this is the other thing I get pissed off. Winter Soldier is what completely changes Cap's mind on the government. In First Avenger and Avenger, he's like, yeah, I don't really like you guys, but I'll fuck with you.
Just because you're the government.
Because you're the government. You give me the means to survive right now.
Yeah.
In Winter Soldier, when Hydra takes over and S.H.I.E.L.D. is a bunch of dickheads, and they're like, hey, bro, not only can we not help you, we're corrupt,
and on top
we're going to
of
get
that,
the entire city to go against you.
And on top of that, his best friend got brainwashed by the people who took them over, and he...
Yeah. Anybody, you know what?
His best friend is technically a criminal.
Anybody who's on Iron Man's side of Civil War
is wrong.
You're wrong. Completely wrong.
Just
not only is scratch this entire video. It's fine. We got more.
Yeah.
We got more. Scratch this entire video because if you're on the side of Iron Man, of Tony bitch ass Stark, in that moment, when he's complaining about Wanda being a monster and a child of destruction and a weapon of mass destruction and also an immigrant, fuck nigga, your daddy put you in this position. You would be nothing without your daddy's money. You would be nothing without your father's money, Tony Stark. Okay, so shut your bitch ass up because I got beef with you. You're getting at my nigga Cap acting as if he knew this information the entire time about Bucky. As if you have access to all of Captain America's information. All of it.
Yep.
You can get in contact with him, his lawyers, which he doesn't have. Nick Fury.
He doesn't have.
You can get in contact with Black Widow. Also, why do you care that this secret agent, Captain America Steve Rogers, is not telling you and your broke ass about your dead parents when you have never once made a good decision without fucking something up? Never once.
That's true.
Never once.
That's
And
true.
then in the next movie, you make a sentient robot that tries to kill everybody. You think I'm about to trust you?
The movie previously.
The movie
but yes.
previously. Sorry. You think I'm about to trust you? You've made a killer robot. You've hid files about Hydra being corrupt. You have created an entire industry of death bombings. You think I'm about to trust you? What?
Of course he'd be on the government side.
Exactly. Anybody who is on Iron Man's side of Civil War, rethink. Okay, we'll give it to Winter Soldier just for that rant. just for that rant.
All right.
Okay, let's just get all the weeds out. Let's get all the weeds out.
Okay.
First Avenger, gone. It's not competing.
Oh yeah.
It's not
yeah,
competing.
no.
Okay.
No, yeah.
First Avenger, gone. Winter Soldier wins that.
Yeah.
One. Civil War, Loki, season 1, Civil War wins.
Yeah.
Gone.
I concur.
Okay. Fantastic Four, Infinity War,
Infinity War
wins. Gone.
Fantastic Four, great movie. But sad.
I think Wonder Man and No Way Home is going to be the Eternals conversation all over again.
Actually,
What do you give? I'm okay with either in this situation. I would low
Honestly,
key say they tie.
I am more okay with Wonder Man than I am Eternals.
Okay, I'll take it.
Like low key,
I'll
like,
take it.
If it came down to those two, it'd be Wonder Man every day for me. I'm gonna be honest.
Wonder Man, I'm not gonna lie. Wonder Man
So,
is
like just
way
like,
more
like,
rewatchable.
kind of, they're both even for me. Like
Okay.
it-
So we're
No
going-
Way Home has the action. Wonder Man has the like drama aspect
the drama,
of it.
the storyline.
like,
yeah.
Yeah. So
I
I'll
also
give it
feel
to
like
Wonder Man.
with No Way Home, you have to watch the other two movies
Yeah.
to really understand everything.
And I feel like the biggest thing holding No Way Home back is just the fact that for me at least, I feel like I almost want to go back and rewatch all of the Spider-Man movies so that way I have the full context and I know everything, and I like it's all fresh in my mind when I go back to watch No Way Home.
Yeah.
You know. Like I feel like that's something almost holding it back a little bit, but
I think I already know who wins this next matchup. Guardians 3 and Ragnarok.
Guardians 3.
Okay, so we got Infinity War versus Civil War.
Ooh, the wars.
The wars of all wars. The wars of all wars.
Okay, let's come back to that one. That
Okay.
one's gonna be the like actually debate for us. and I
Wonder
know
Man
it.
versus Guardians 3.
I think I have to go. I haven't seen all of Wonder Man, so what's your opinion on this?
I would probably go Guardians 3 on this one.
Okay, I was gonna say Guardians 3, but
if we're talking about, again, impact, we're talking about general project movie.
we have brought up the contribution to the
Yep.
rest of the MCU.
The
also.
contribution, yes.
I don't know what word
I
that
don't
would
know where the fuck
actually
that
be.
came from.
Because I was like contributing
Contribution.
contribution. That was it. Thank
I was
you.
gonna say. I
was
thought you
getting there
started. I thought
eventually.
you started, heard yourself mess up, or you were like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna keep going." Yeah, I think Guardians is. We're also talking about one of the fan favorite characters being turned into a literal trauma movie.
Yeah.
Like Rocket becoming the demonstration, the explanation, and the visual, the visual,
Yeah.
Asian. Other words with Asian in them.
Visualization.
Yeah, just for that to be the thing, we're coming from one of the best emotional characters in all of the MCU. The line he called me rodent, she called me vermin. Like I didn't ask to be built, I didn't ask to be put together, torn apart, and put back together again. Like I'm some monster. Like, oh my gosh, I want to cry just thinking about
Seriously.
it. Peak, and that's just the first movie. That's just
Is
from
that
the
the first?
that's from the first
Oh,
movie. He
damn.
gets drunk at a bar
Yeah, that's right.
and crashes out on
Yeah.
everybody.
Oh, man.
That's
yeah.
just the first movie.
Because
And then
they've
the
been
third
dropping hints at this the entire
yeah,
time.
yeah, and then the third movie, the scene where not the third movie, but the moment in the first movie where he takes off his shirt, you
Mhm.
see the thing on it, and Quill's like, "Damn, I thought I had that shit hard.
Yeah.
Nigga, you got fucking stitching and stuff in your back."
Right.
Get to the third movie, like, nigga, you were never supposed to be a thing.
Seriously.
We were supposed to kill you. The higher up was like, nigga, you think you were supposed to be made? Only reason you got out of here is because of what you did to my face. That's the only reason. I would have killed you. You're supposed to die. This world was not made for you. This world was made for my people. And you're not my people. You're an experiment. Like, oh my gosh. To go through that lineage and then have the moment, also the moment in the first movie where, I think it's the first movie. It might be the second. Where Yondu's talking to Rocket and being like, you think I don't know you? You think I don't know you who you are? You're me.
Hold up. I'm now realizing brackets need to be done in groups of 3s. 3s, 6s in particularly.
What do you mean?
We just have Winter Soldier here, so we need to do this one.
Yeah, it's gonna be whoever's winning from this is going against Winter Soldier twice. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so whoever wins from this is going against Winter Soldier.
Yeah, it'll probably be 2 movies against 1.
Okay.
That's just how good Winter Soldier is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I give it to Guardians 3.
Yeah, Guardians 3.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I hate this pin. Boom. Wonder Man, Infinity War, Civil War. Or do we want to go Guardians 3, Winter Soldier and just cut those out?
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay, let's do that. Guardians 3, Winter Soldier.
But we aren't cutting out those. Whoever wins this will go up against the winner of those.
Yeah,
is what I was thinking. So,
yeah. These are both on par.
Yeah.
These movies
pretty
are
much
on par.
everything about them is on par.
I don't think there's any misses in either movie.
I have to give it to Winter Soldier because character bias. That's about the only thing that I can do though for that.
So all you
Well, like, okay, I will say, like, the choreography in Winter Soldier is better than Guardians 3. But the combat in Guardians 3, or sorry, not the combat, the emotional scenes in Guardians 3 are done better just because they actually have emotion to them as opposed to it being like the, like,
it truly feels like
emotion,
feels like you don't need to watch any other Guardians movie to watch Guardians 3. Winter Soldier, it feels like you kind of got to watch something else.
No.
It either feels like you need to watch the movie after it.
At bare min, okay.
Or you need to,
the most
like,
you need to
go
watch
back.
for the first Avenger, or for Winter Soldier, is the first Avengers. The first Avengers movie.
Yeah. I know what you mean. That's what I was thinking. I was like, whenever I watch Winter Soldier, whenever I watch Winter Soldier, I'm like, oh, okay, I want to go back and watch Avengers, or I want to go watch Civil War now.
Yeah, that's
because
it's always Winter Soldier, Civil War.
Yeah, like
right
I want to finish how this. Like I want to finish this plot line right here. Guardians is just such a good, just hands down movie.
Yeah.
So what are we thinking? Oh my gosh, no, I have to give it to Guardians. The music. I have to. The music makes everything better. You know I'm a big music dude.
Yeah, but Winter Soldier does have, like...
Winter Soldier has a soundtrack. It does not have music.
That's true.
It completely...
Its soundtrack is
some of the
awesome. Best soundtrack.
The moment where
one of the best soundtracks in the MCU also.
The moment where they're running on the rooftop.
Yeah.
And it's just a little... And the music's done. Peak. But also...
And then the entire boat fight scene. Come on. That entire boat fight scene at the start, that is one of the best opening scenes to any MCU movie, if not the best.
Anybody who says Captain America kills people, yeah, fuck yeah.
110%.
He was in the war. You can't tell me.
He literally has a blicky on his side in the first Avengers.
And it's not the only reason he don't ever put a gun back on his hip.
Because he's too deadly with one.
It's because he's too not with the gun.
War.
He's not too deadly with the gun. He's too deadly with the shield. He said, "Hold on, why would I take up both hands when I can just grab it and dink again? Right? Why would I use 2 hands for 2 different objects when I can just throw it, catch it with the other hand, give it back to the same hand, and chuck it again? What? I can make a cycle." And we've seen him use it. If he had a gun in Civil War, Bucky and him lose that fight against Iron Man.
That would be crazy if that's the difference.
If he had a gun in Civil War, it's game over for him and Bucky. The only reason...
just because he'd be too focused on trying to use the gun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bucky literally throws the shield, punches Iron Man. Cap throws the shield, it bounces off the ground, goes to Bucky, and Cap punches him. And then punches him again before Bucky grabs it, throws it back at the ground, it hits Iron Man, and Cap catches it and then just chucks it at Iron Man. They were on a mission! Oh my gosh, Civil War has to win. Civil War has to win. Who are we giving it to?
Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Because it has to be.
Oh my gosh.
It's Civil War and Infinity War.
Okay, so we're gonna go 3 verses. This may not make sense. It'll make more sense as we do this again.
That's how we're doing this. Civil War, Infinity War, and Winter Soldier.
Peak movies.
The 3 best Marvel movies.
Hands down. 3 best Marvel movies, hands down.
I think we agree on what one wins.
I feel like we can take out Infinity War.
Honestly,
I'm not gonna lie. We can say goodbye to Infinity War.
But I think we agree on which one wins this.
I think we might be different only because I have one thing that I love about one of these movies.
Okay, you say your piece first.
Civil War might be the #1 greatest movie for audience immersion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever heard of any franchise being so immersive that the entire audience actually split sides.
Yeah.
Except
Literally.
for Twilight.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I don't think I've ever heard of people genuinely getting hate because, like, you're an Iron Man fan? Hell no. You're a Cap fan? You agree with what Cap did? Okay. So you would let your parents know. Like, the way people were getting attacked and the way the reaction, it was quiet. And it started ramping up as time came. Like, it came back, like, last year, like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
And it got big again. And niggas were saying some of the worst shit I've ever heard. Talking about Tony was trying to do this for the Accords and da-da-da-da. I just need everybody to know. I know I've already talked about this enough on this episode. Everything Tony did in Civil War is because he felt guilty for what the woman said at the beginning.
Yes.
She said, "You killed my son. You killed my son when you dropped the fucking planet on him. And I blame you fully." In that moment, he knew. When he walks up, he knows. He's like, "Oh, this girl don't like me." She reaches into her bag. He thinks she's grabbing a gun, and he's like, "Sorry, reflexes. Like I can't help it. I've been through some shit. Niggas don't like me." So anybody who's on Tony's side, you're wrong already. We've said that. And if you don't notice that Tony is obviously wrong, but trying to feel right in the ways that Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, he's going completely against the government. Iron Man 3, he's running from the government, partially running from the government, and he's getting sent death threats from a secret organization, right? In Avengers: Age of Ultron, that man is completely to blame for everything in that movie. Yeah. Everything goes wrong in that movie. It would have just been a 30-minute movie where they stop Hydra, go have the dinner party. That's it. Yeah. That would have been the movie without Ultron being created by the dumbass.
Or if everything goes right, then it might have been stretched to like 45 minutes.
It might have been another Chitauri movie. Or somehow because
it could have been.
Right,
I could see that.
And they had to use the scepter. The scepter opens up the
See,
the
actually, Loki,
again.
I think if they, instead of having Age of Ultron be Age of Ultron, using the movie of Age of Ultron as essentially like, or the plot points from Age of Ultron to set up Age of Ultron actually, I feel like that would have been good.
I really think we should have
if they
had a
set
mini
up
plot
those
with him.
plot points in the first Avengers movie of like him trying to create a shield around the world and all that, and he's already working on the AI system with the Tesseract and all that, and then Thanos comes and or Loki comes and he's invading with Thanos' army,
and that's why.
Then that's when Ultron becomes sentient and he's like, huh, and then
I think
another year or two passes and Ultron's like, y'all are the issues. Okay, let's do something about this.
I think if we actually had it the way it's supposed to happen, where Hank Pym made Ultron and Tony Stark helped him,
that Loki might have been better.
I think originally it's Tony Stark. I mean, it's Hank Pym and Bruce Banner make Ultron in the comics. I think that's how it happens. So I think if it was Hank Pym and Tony Stark, and then because in Ant-Man they literally show a fallout between Hank Pym and one of his co-workers when he's stepping down from being Ant-Man. Yeah. So I think if they just put Ant-Man out a little bit sooner, and that's the storyline, we're following Hank Pym and trying to create a new Ant-Man, and then that Ant-Man has to fight against either a robot. And that's the start of Ultron right there. Is he's fighting against a robot? We think it's done, and then Ultron comes back.
Hold up. We've had plenty of past things, with Captain Marvel, First Avenger, all that.
Yeah.
They could do something like that, and instead of having the Wasp, Hank Pym's wife, disappear trying to stop a nuke, she has to go microscopic to stop Ultron and get between Ultron's wirings because of how
yeah, but then
advanced
she
he
would
is.
have died. They wouldn't have brought her back. She would have died to Ultron, hands down, for sure. For sure.
No, I still see pretty much everything else playing out exactly the same way. She'd go to the quantum realm like she does,
I think
and she'd still stop Ultron or like severely wound Ultron.
I think she would
until
go to the
Age of
quantum
Ultron,
realm. I think
basically.
it's either she dies or she goes to the quantum realm. Ultron doesn't get stopped. They have to stop her some other way. Stop him some other way.
Yeah,
You know?
but she definitely goes to the quantum realm.
For sure.
And
If they
through
wanna
doing
keep
that,
it,
does
yeah.
like somehow wound Ultron to buy them time or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So that way it's not like a worth a sacrifice. And then literally everything else in Ant-Man's story
Yeah,
plays
they
out
can play it the
identical,
exact same.
sadly. Change Quantum Mania somehow to fix that, but you know.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's like my only thing that I would say I hold above Winter Soldier when it comes to Civil War is that Civil War created a real world experience for everybody with that debate.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier is definitely the more fluid
Mm-hmm.
movie, pans out the right way, ends the right way. The probably one of the best scenes is when Cap's getting drug out by Bucky at the end of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And then they recreate that in Civil War.
No, like, I feel like when you think of fight scenes from Marvel, you will only ever think of one of these two movies. Maybe Infinity War. But that's about it. Or
Civil War or Winter Soldier?
Yeah. Like, if you think of your favorite fight scene from the MCU, it's going to be from one of these two movies every time, even if it switches. It will either typically be the Iron Man, Cap, Bucky fight scene, or it will be the elevator fight scene in Winter Soldier.
Are we saying fight scene or are we saying action scene? Where, like, two people have to be fighting? Because my favorite MCU scene is definitely Spider-Man walking through the hallway.
Oh,
that's
that's
taking
fair.
out all the drones.
But I'm talking fight scene.
Okay. I would probably give it to Black Widow at the beginning of Avengers. Because it's funny, it's a good fight, and it's just it shows off how badass
I don't even
she
necessarily consider that like the reason I don't consider that a good fight scene is because there's not much to do with like the actual choreography itself in that scene.
What do you mean? She breaks a chair, jumps on a bunch of people's heads, all with her hands tied
Yeah, but
behind
I
her
mean
back.
with the people that like she is fighting, like the thing that makes for me,
so you're saying like the choreography between both sides?
Yeah,
isn't as
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Because for me, what makes a fight scene fun to watch is when it's two people who are supposed to be really good fighters going at it.
Yeah.
And it is just like you see in Winter Soldier, where it's Bucky and Cap the first time they're on the bridge, and it's it's like dropping the knife, grabbing it, like.
Then yeah, I would probably give
entire
it.
Fight scene,
I would probably give it to Civil War. Then yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it to the airport.
Yeah,
Fight scene in Civil War.
it's either the airport, the Iron Man, Bucky, and Cap one, the one on the bridge between Cap and
Actually,
Bucky.
no, yeah. Iron Man, Bucky, and Cap is
Yeah.
probably my favorite
exactly,
fight scene.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, or the elevator fight scene. It's
Mhm.
one of, unless you want to like do Endgame's final fight scene or Infinity War's fight scenes.
Endgame's final fight scene is
Chaotic.
yeah. It's not even really a fight scene.
The only reason why I'd say that would even remotely be considered to be my favorite is because of Cap wielding Mjolnir and just ding 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 ding.
If it happened longer,
Yes,
it
if
would
that
be so
happened the
much
entire-
better.
That should have been the entire fight. I'm sorry.
I didn't like the joke about you take the tiny one. I don't like that joke.
I don't mind it.
I think it's cool. I think it's okay because Cap prefers the smaller hammer. But
I don't mind it because
I don't like that joke.
I don't mind it because especially at that time, Thor's supposed to be very insecure about himself.
No, he's not. None of that moment. In that moment, he has. That's what that whole scene is, where they walk out to him, where Cap and Tony walk up to Thor when he's standing there. It's because now he's like, fuck confidence, fuck insecurities, whatever it is. I'm killing Thanos. That's his mindset right there. Which is why he turns into Fat Thor.
Yeah.
But like in that moment, that joke just did not need to be there.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's
I think it would have been better at the end of the movie if they
like a post credit scene.
Not a post credit scene. Like if Thor was standing there when Cap's about to go back to give all the Infinity Stones back, and he picks up like both of his hammers are there, the axe and the hammer are there. he looks at the axe, picks it up, and then picks up the hammer. He's like, "You take the small one." Like something like that would have been better in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But it does make sense because that is their relationship. Where like Age of Ultron, they're like, it looks like they're lining up, and he's like, "Huh, it seems like they're eager," and then they just dink, and everybody gets blown up.
Yeah.
So Cap and Thor have always had that relationship when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think for for
See, we intentionally started talking about Infinity War and the other movies of Feisty, so that way we didn't.
We
have
don't
to
need
talk
to talk about these. Yeah. Okay. So Civil
We
War.
don't have to pick a favorite here.
I've also always said Civil War is an Avengers movie, not a Captain America movie.
That's fair.
If we really think about it, there's probably like 45 minutes of Captain America movie
Yeah.
in it, and the rest of it is Tony Stark or Avengers. So, if we're going to say overall movie, which is what I feel like we've been doing,
Yes.
then we're going to say Winter Soldier.
We have to.
It's a better watch. It's a better story. It takes less time, even though it's longer. It's more impactful to the storyline, the plot line, everything.
Yeah.
You don't have the plot.
Well,
you don't
okay,
have the plot of Civil War without the Winter Soldier.
Yes. However, you don't have the plot of like 5 other movies without Winter Soldier or without Civil War. You don't have the plot for Black Panther. You don't have the plot for Spider-Man.
That's not true. Black Panther still happens.
No.
Black Panther still
Literally,
happens. His
the
father's
entire
just
point of
alive.
Black Panther's movie is what happens in Civil War.
No, it's just
Like,
it's
that's
just
a
his
giant
father.
yes.
It's just his father being dead. That's it.
His father dies, and then that sets him on a path to
To start giving back to the world, but that's
No,
because
not
of
even.
Killmonger.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying that because of his father dying in Civil War, that is what makes it to where he doesn't trust the outside world because his father got blown up.
No, he doesn't trust the outside world because that was the thing Wakanda already did. They never had they had a peace treaty with the world. They weren't giving resources to the world. That was the plot of Black Panther. Is Killmonger comes in to give resources back to everywhere else, mainly to America. And the thing was T'Challa never questioned why they didn't give resources until Killmonger, and then he had found out everything that was going wrong.
If Civil War isn't a movie, though, they probably wouldn't have released Black Panther.
No, but I'm not talking about Civil not being a movie. I'm just saying you don't have the plot. You don't have the plot line of Civil War, that would mean you don't introduce Black Panther, Spider-Man. You don't get the Wanda and Vision storyline.
True.
Like, so much stuff happens because of Winter Soldier in Civil War.
And so much happens later in
the entire plot. Yeah, in the entire MCU. Yeah.
Because of Civil War.
But I think
Civil War is kind of that, like, shifting point.
Civil War is the shifting point of superheroes into humans.
Yeah.
For sure. But I think this movie makes this movie so much more impactful.
You're right. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the entirety of Civil War is Captain America, mainly Steve Rogers, not knowing this man, technically.
True.
He knows who he is from his perspective. From Steve's perspective, he doesn't know who Bucky is anymore, right? So we're talking about Captain America going against what people say is his best friend. He's not, though. He's going against his teammate to not only prove this criminal wrong, because Bucky is a criminal. So, and a lot of people take this wrong. A lot of people think Captain America's trying to save Bucky. He's trying to take Bucky in.
Yeah.
Literally, they're like, okay, we need to go get Bucky. We need to go find the Winter Soldier. He's like, let me do it because people are going to die if I don't.
Yeah.
If I'm not the one to bring in this super soldier with a metal arm who can kill people, people will die. So let me do it as the super soldier who can kill people. Let me go fight the other super soldier who can kill people.
Yeah.
And Tony says no. So you literally do not have the severity of Civil War's plotline without Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Because Winter Soldier gives you the entire story of Bucky doesn't know who he is. He doesn't trust other people when he is Bucky after becoming Winter Soldier. And a lot of people think that Cap and Bucky were buddies at that moment in Civil War, and it's like, no, they're not.
Oh yeah,
Cap
in
didn't
the
know where he was.
hotel room.
Yeah, like
Yeah, no.
Cap didn't know where he was. That conversation is Cap.
There's a
talking
reason
to Bucky
why
Barnes.
when Cap is on the floor and Bucky's above him and punches the ground next to him, Cap thinks Bucky might actually punch him there. Like you see him like do this because he's going
like,
for my head.
I can't trust you, but right now I'm doing my best to.
Yeah,
And that's what he does. I will say Bucky does say nobody's gonna die, and then literally sucker punches somebody directly in the heart with his metal arm,
and sends them flying into the wall.
through, not just into the wall, through it. They go through. They go through the wall to the other side. Because I think he punches them through a door, and the door just falls.
Yeah.
So like, you're wrong, Bucky. People probably did die in that moment.
People probably died.
And then he throws a couple people off the balcony side, and Cap was like trying to save people. Literally, Spartan kicks a nigga into the wall. There's no way he's alive.
Seriously,
no
you
way.
literally
he's alive.
see a ricochet off the wall.
He not only does the wall caves in, he bounces back.
Yeah.
and then Cap. People say this all the time. There's no way you're throwing that shield well over 20 miles an hour. Like, you're chucking that shield at people, and it absorbs all the energy from the impact and bounces back. They're getting slit. Somebody's getting cut. Cause
Vibranium.
Like
Vibranium.
what are you talking about? We've seen just Black Panther's claws in the same movie. Literally cut through an entire thing of metal. No harm. No harm done to his hand. No needing to sharpen nothing. So if you're telling me that Cap hasn't cut people's head off on accident, even though we literally watch what's his face?
Sam.
No. John Walker. John Walker with enough force cut a nigga's head off. Through the bone and everything. I'm guessing they didn't show that part, but
I think it was a torso.
no, he's right here.
Oh, is it?
His head's like leaning on the thing like this, and he's like that, and then so people think it's either right here, or clean off. But there's so much stuff in Civil War that happens because of Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And I think again that's another thing where I'm like, I think people get Winter Soldier. I think people forget about Winter Soldier when it comes to talking about Civil War, because the only thing you can talk about when it comes to Civil War for Tony is Age of Ultron.
True.
And how much he fucked up in Age of Ultron, and then how the entire team gets blamed for everything
Facts.
he did wrong in Age of Ultron.
Facts.
So I think hands down we give it to Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Winter Soldier wins. If you're on Tony's side, you're wrong.
If you're on Tony's side,
deal with it.
Tell me anything other. If you're on Tony's side, tell me anything other than what would you do if your parents got killed by your best friend. Tell me anything other than that. Ask me any other question than that, and I'll probably be able to prove you wrong. But, I might give you some leeway. I might, because from what we've seen from, from what we've seen in Civil War, Tony didn't like his parents. As much as he loved them, he didn't like his parents. He liked his mom, didn't really like his dad. His dad didn't really fuck with him either.
True.
At the time. So now that we're halfway through the movie, you just found out your parents died because of the secret agent who was doing secret agent things while he was under control of other secret agents, and you give Clint Barton so much leeway.
Facts.
Why don't you give him so much leeway?
Facts.
That's the episode.
Yep.
That's the episode. Winter Soldier is
the winner.
Top of our bracket.
Yeah.
Top of it, best MCU movie.
Hands down.
Pretty much hands down. If you don't agree,
the only way that I will accept that you don't agree is if you are arguing that because it does not have the Iron Man, Bucky, Captain America fight scene in it.
Yeah, if you're
like that, because that's the only scene in the entirety of Marvel that overtakes even the worst scene.
I'm trying to think.
In the Winter Soldier.
Is there anything that's...
Granted, it overtakes the best scenes in the Winter Soldier too, because that's just the best scene in all of Marvel. Is that fight scene, in my opinion, at least. Especially when it's like lie on the shield when it's like
no,
just
that shit's fire. That shit's fire.
Best fight scene in the entire MCU. Best scene in the entire MCU. I'm sorry, like it has to be.
Oh my gosh, I've never wanted
best superhero scene. Period.
No.
No.
No, I would say that comes from DC.
Which movie?
Probably Justice League.
Which one?
Snyder Cut.
Okay, good. If you said the original, I'm like, okay, no, you're wrong. I don't care if it's one of the ones that appear in the Snyder's Cut. You are wrong.
No, I would say the Snyder's Cut. Or
Yeah,
maybe
that's valid.
it's not a great fight, but probably the fight between Batman and Superman. Right before Martha.
Yeah, I mean it's a decent fight, but I won't say it compares to any of the fights from Winter Soldier or
I think it's just the
Civil
impact
War.
of that fight, like the heaviness of that fight.
I think it's the
Yes.
idea of that fight more so. Like the idea of it, Batman and Superman fighting that's what gives that fight so much impact, as opposed to
No, I'm talking about like
The
the
fight
actual.
itself.
I'm talking about the way the fight feels. Like it feels heavy.
like when they're striking, like heavy
like
strikes.
every punch feels like it's a real punch getting thrown by Superman and all that. Probably worst movie in the DC though.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Anyway, now that that's done,
We did it.
Do we have a new Dubby code?
We do have a new W code. Trap House 2026.
Trap House 2026. So go
Boom.
W, use code Trap House 2026.
10% off.
10% off all purchases, all items.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Go down below and comment whether or not you agree with any of our takes. I know I was
What
talking-
takes you disagree with?
Yeah, I was talking a lot. Before we even started the podcast, not this episode, the podcast in general, we used to do this all the time with Star Wars characters.
True.
So our opinions are probably drowned out from that.
Yeah.
But I think everybody's goal when it comes to movies is to connect on more ways than just what you like. I say this to you all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I say this to you all the time. When it comes down to reviewing movies, as you guys have probably seen, he likes to laugh. I don't really care about laughing or anything. I want to feel emotion. Whatever emotion it is, I want to feel it, and I want to really feel it. If you're trying to scare me, scare me. I don't want no cookie cutterness. So, yeah, I think obviously we said it when we sat down. We were way more separate than we thought we were going to be.
Oh yeah.
Mainly because we're both playing devil's advocate for certain parts. But go down below, comment what you guys think. You agree with, if you disagree with everything we both said.
That's a little wild.
It is a little wild because
If that's the case,
I'm not
though,
gonna lie, we ended on the overall universal.
Yeah,
everybody
seriously.
agrees with this.
Like,
This is the best MCU
So,
movie. So if
here's
you
here's what we
disagree,
do. Here's what we do. If you disagree, then go down into the comments, do your own bracket, and give us your own descriptions for why you think each movie would or each project would win that other fight in that category.
and we might bring
We
other
might
people
bring
on.
it up in another episode at some point and
we
review
might
it.
bring that up. We might bring other people on. I know somebody who's going to have a fun time coming on the show to do this with us. Samari will be freaking out. She'll come in with documents of paper. We came in a little blind. When did we think about this? 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Thought about it 2 days ago. I watched 2 of the movies that were on my list. Age of Ultron and Guardians
watched
3.
none of the movies that were on my list.
Yeah, I only did that because I was like, let me just
Yeah.
make sure I'm correct about some of these things.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what's getting cut out, what's not getting cut out. Like, subscribe, comment. We said that 4 times now.
Yep.
All of our socials are down below in the description.
Yep.
Use code
TRAPHOUSE
2026 on Dubby for 10% off. Energy drinks, not protein powder. I almost said protein powder. Energy drinks, hydration drinks,
Cups.
some cups, cool stuff. It's one right there. It's a little dirty.
A little bit. All good though.
A little dirty. Well, yeah. What else is coming?
Did
What
we
else is
review
coming?
eventually? Soon.
Hopefully.
We've been talking about this for a minute now.
For
So
like almost a year.
yeah,
It feels like.
it's
So
been 5 minutes since our last W review. So
The hopefully W review
Soon.
coming.
soon.
Coming soon is
Minecraft.
Minecraft Jump
Jump
Force.
Force.
We were just talking about that a couple
Yep.
days ago. So be ready to. Oh,
Yeah.
also tell us if you guys like this new little setup.
Yeah.
I know it's a little shadowy. You can see our shadows, but yeah.
See, we might want to light like here, because if we have one here coming down, then it would remove the shadows.